we wanted to announce something very special, but instead of announcing it, I think we would rather show you guys. Yeah. Oh my God.
Hey, do you still remember me?
Oh my God, a new season of MyStreet? It's been like, oh my God, 7, 8 years? That would be really cool. But that's not coming out until like a year later. I'm not... That's weird. I swear. Oh my God. That was weird. I haven't seen that thing in forever. I wonder where it went.
Hi.
If you've been part of my channel for a while, or if you've just gone down and see a few of my older videos, you know how much I love Aphmau. Literally my first video I made on my channel over a year ago, like almost near around this time, I made about ranking all of the MyStreet seasons because I just rewatched them like a year ago today. And you know what? I think that gives me the encyclopedic knowledge, basically give you a very quick recap of all of MyStreet before season 7 comes out in 2025. So technically, MyStreet does not start in season 1. MyStreet starts at the very beginning in the prequels during Phoenix Drop High. We're gonna think of this more of like a timeline base. So we're gonna start all the way back when they were in high school. Aphmau, our protagonist, is starting her first year of high school after being homeschooled for a year. During that year, she didn't spend a lot of time with people her own age, so she spent a lot of time playing games online. This will be important later. As she's walking in front of the school on her first day, she bumps into a guy named Aaron, our second protagonist, but he doesn't get a lot of screen time at the beginning because he's mysterious. They bump into each other, he grumbles, she goes, "What a jerk," and he walks away. And that's kind of their whole first impression of each other. She then runs into Gareth, one of the like hot guys at the school, and she expresses that she thinks he's cute. So Aphmau is trying to figure out her schedule, but she can't end up finding her room number. This is when she meets our third character, Lawrence, a crowd favorite. After he flat out started flirting with her, he shows her the way to the classroom, and of course she also freaks out and is like, "Oh my God, he's so hot too." In her homeroom, she meets Travis, a shy guy who also just wants to make some friends and maybe get a few girls along the way. They make friends with each other, giving themselves the name Not Alone Buddies. Some other characters we meet around this time that are not very like crucial to like the big plots of this season are Caitlin, Tiani, Zane, and Heyitsnan, which are very important characters later on. At the end of her first day, Aphmau finds out that she's been put into a class called Werewolf 101. She's not a werewolf, so she's confused by this, but has to stay since she needs to get it changed herself. She also sees Aaron, the mean guy from before, sitting in the back of the class. He's not a werewolf either, so he claims, so he doesn't know why he is also in that class either. Aaron gets into a fight, throws someone out the window, and they end up sitting next to each other in the back of the class, ending her first day in high school. Another thing to keep in mind, during this whole time, Aphmau is often seen texting this guy she met on one of her online games named FC, but we don't know who he is yet. Throughout the beginning of the season, we often see Gareth and Lawrence heavily flirting with Aphmau. They often would hang out together, but there was obviously some type of like rivalry happening between the two boys. And while that's happening, Aphmau keeps bumping into Aaron accidentally, and like they just have this weird rivalry tension that for some reason they just cannot stand each other. One day, Lawrence asks Aphmau to go to the park with him, meeting up with another friend we later find out is Gareth. While waiting, they bump into the Shadow Knights, a group of bad kids at their school that Lawrence used to be a part of. The Shadow Knights consist of Sasha, Xenix, and their leader, Jean. Some more important characters in passing are Lucinda, Dante, and Vlad. I'm just kind of, letting you know about these because they'll become more important as the seasons progress. Another small, story thing that we kind of find out near here, Gareth and Zane are brothers, and Vlad is their adopted brother. We find out that Aphmau's mom and their mom are actually longtime besties, which means they all knew each other as kids, but just didn't remember. So one night, Ziana, their mother, invites Aphmau and her mom over to their house for dinner. During the dinner, Zane teases Gareth about flirting with a lot of girls, never following through on them for an actual relationship. Gareth gets mad and storms out. Aphmau follows him, he admits that he likes her, and they kiss. Conveniently, and not stalkerish at all, Jean is there, standing on top of some boxes to look over the fence of their personal yard and takes a photo of them kissing. Jean ends up using the photo of her and Gareth kissing against her, forcing her to become part of the Shadow Knights and doing a bunch of bad stuff around the school. If she doesn't, his plan is to show Lawrence the photo, making him mad at Gareth and her, which is weird and dumb, but I'm like, okay, I feel like that's personally not Lawrence's business, but we're not gonna get into it. After a few weeks of hanging out with the Shadow Knights, she starts to grow tired of trying to keep everyone happy and hiding all of these secrets from everybody. She shares her worries with a stranger on the other side of a door in the music room playing his guitar. He gives her some great advice and she decides to stand up for herself against Jean. She tells Jean she won't be his pawn anymore and she doesn't care if he shares the photo. As Jean goes to share it, Aaron bumps him, making Jean drop his phone. Aaron stomps on it as he walks by, losing the photo forever.
Randy Orton slithering. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
After all of this chaos, Gareth asks Aphmau out on an official date to get to know her. He asks her to the festival that's currently in town. While they're there, they run into Lawrence, who doesn't know they're on a date. While in a photo booth together, Lawrence kisses Aphmau! They decide to not tell Gareth about it for now. The whole Lawrence, Gareth, Aphmau love triangle is very messy, and it stays that way for a fat minute. So this part's a little weird, so stay with me here. So this part's a little unclear to the fandom, I think. If you know the right way about this, let me know in the comments. But basically, Aaron keeps bumping into Aphmau either on accident or on purpose, but at some point in time, Aaron marked Aphmau with his scent, making her the female alpha of the school, unknowing to her. This is just a small thing, but trust me, it'll be massively important later on. Oh, duh. Also, if it was unclear, Aaron is the male alpha and she's the female alpha. And they basically are the alphas of their school in their werewolf community. So back to the main plot A. Remember when Jean was mad that his phone got smashed? Well, he decided to get revenge because he can't stand when people show him up. And he decided to show Gareth the photo booth picture of Aphmau and Lawrence kissing. How he got that, I have no clue. So while Gareth is shocked by that news, Lawrence overhears two werewolves talking about Aphmau and Aaron, saying how they're dating because they're both the alphas. Lawrence goes to Gareth, telling him he thinks they're both getting played by her. This causes them to both avoid her, making her upset and running back to the music room. She ends up messaging her friend FC, telling him the whole situation. After a few minutes of texting him, she realizes that the person she's texting is on the other side of the door. When he opens it, she finds out it's Aaron. Are we surprised? No. At first, she doesn't want to believe it's him, so she tries to run away, but after a few minutes, they talk, and they're like, oh my god, I can't believe it's you, and they're good. And now they're chilling. They start hanging out around school and becoming friends, and actually starting to get to know each other. Jean is still upset that his plan failed, so he decides to get Aaron expelled if he fights Balto on camera. Lawrence and Gareth find out and overhear his plan, and they decide to stop him. Everyone makes up, and the very messy beef is squashed. For now. Wrapping up the season very quickly, Prom is announced. Aaron wants to ask her to prom, but he doesn't know how to or if she even wants to go. He does end up asking her to prom. She says yes. They have a really cute dance in the music room and a heart-to-heart about him graduating next year and her feeling alone. Aaron throws someone else out the window. While cleaning up the glass, he cuts his hand. Aphmau gives him a piece of red fabric to cover it up. This will be important later. This red piece of fabric. They share a really sweet moment in her room, and they also kiss. So that's the end of season 1. Kiss count 3, windows broken 2, maybe more, I don't remember. If you thought season 1 was messy, just wait till we get to season 2 of Phoenix Drop High. So it's Aphmau's second year, and Aaron is off at college. Someone Aphmau meets on her first day back is a guy named Kai, who's new, and he's also a cat, and he's very charming, and someone Aphmau quickly falls for. In this season, Aphmau becomes way more involved in the werewolf community at school, since she is still the female alpha, and Aaron has left her in charge with finding a male alpha and basically taking care of the werewolf community that he left behind. Another very important character we meet in this season is a guy named Ian, who right now is a mysterious wolf boy, but will be the bane of my existence later on. So Aphmau is trying to help the werewolves, especially the freshman werewolves, since she's been put into this alpha position. But without Aaron, it's kind of hard because she doesn't really know what to do because, again, she's human. She often calls Aaron while he's away to ask for advice or just to catch up, but it's clear that they're still in contact and it's obvious that they still have feelings for each other, but they're not, like, going forth with their relationship yet because they're separated and they just think they should just keep it slow and just be friends for right now. Aaron's also got a lot of shit going on besides college. He's got a lot of things happening. We'll get into him later. It's not about him right now, but we'll get there. Some very important freshman werewolves are Daniel, Dottie, and Rylan, who are like my favorite trio. I love them so much. Another really important werewolf character this season is also Blaze. So at the beginning of the season, many werewolves are beginning to warn Aphmau not to get too close to Ian, since he is the omega of the pack. She feels bad for him, feeling like he's being left out. So she invites him to hang out and like kind of help break his shell a little more, since she thinks he's just like nervous and shy like she was. Aphmau and Ian are often seen hanging out throughout the season, just kind of getting to know each other and becoming closer as friends. While this is happening, Aphmau's crush on Kai is growing stronger. Ian, however, is getting all of the love from the fandom at this point, especially after his iconic stuck in the locker together moment where she falls asleep on him, which I remember when I was younger, ate that up. But besides that, Ian also saves and defends her from other humans and other werewolves throughout the season, which leads to Aphmau trusting him even if he is the Omega. Aphmau decides that she wants to tell Kai that she has a crush on him. Come to find out, Kai actually has a crush on her friend Caitlin. Somewhere else, the werewolf freshmen decide to call Aaron and tell him they think Aphmau is falling in love with Ian or being tricked and they're scared. So the next time Aaron and Aphmau are on the phone, Aaron decides to say that, hey, maybe you should find a male alpha to replace me from the school to help the other werewolves. And so she decides to set up a competition to see who should be the male alpha. Since it's Aaron's spring break, he decides to come back home and come see Aphmau. Aaron sees her talking with Ian hugging her as well. He questions if he can even make her smile anymore, drops the flowers and cries, thinking he is losing Aphmau to another werewolf. He's very dramatic and he's going through it, okay? At the competition, Aphmau can't decide who to pick as the male alpha. Mr. Gavin, the werewolf teacher, ends up saying that it's Ian who's the new alpha, stating that Aaron, the last alpha, chose him himself after seeing him with her. Aaron also leaves without speaking to Aphmau, which I think is so stupid. After gaining his status as alpha, Ian ends up making Daniel, one of the werewolf freshmen, the new Omega. Alright, we're gonna jump again. Remember Kai? Yeah. Man has a sudden change of heart, and he decides to ask Aphmau out on a date. She accepts, of course, because she still likes him, and on their date, Garth and Lawrence follow them. Also, when we get into the later seasons, you will find out that Garth and Lawrence following her is a common thread with these two. While there, they run into Ian, saying that he is hanging out with some other werewolves from the school. When Aphmau goes to the bathroom, Ian comes up to Kai, asking him why he is trying to get with Aphmau even though she's the alpha. Kai then says he thinks she's too immature, but she thinks he can learn to love her since he really wants a girlfriend. She overhears this, and of course, she's upset and runs away. Have I mentioned I don't like Kai? I don't like Ian. I don't like either of the new characters in this season. I think this moment is a great Aphmau character development here, in my opinion, because she will ask the question, like, what do you even know about me? To Kai, to Ian, to Gareth and Lawrence. I think it really helps her put into perspective who, like, actually likes her and who wants to be with her, and who is just liking, like, the idea of her. And I feel like that was a really great moment for her as, like, a teenager. So Kai leaves after being like, I'm sorry, like, this wasn't how I was supposed to go. And she's like, whatever, bye. And Ian comes to check on her, admitting that he also likes her and he really wants her as his girlfriend. She asks him the same question, and he also can't really, like, give her an answer about what he knows about her besides her being alpha, and she leaves. So outside, like I said, Aphmau runs into Gareth and Lawrence, where they both admit they were spying on her date. So this makes her even more upset. This girl was just getting one punch after the other this night. I was breaking for her. She runs home upset, and she decides to call Aaron, and of course he answers, and he tells her that he'll always be there for her. So after talking with Aaron, Aphmau gets some confidence back, and she decides to go ask for an apology from Gareth and Lawrence for kissing her without her permission from last year, which they both do, and now they're all cool officially. Kai also comes and apologizes to her, and they squash their beef too, but I still can't stand Kai. Ian, however, has been going around telling people that him and Aphmau are dating. Ian somehow gets a hold of Aphmau's phone, and he decides to text Aaron, saying that she doesn't need him anymore and that he's annoying her. Also, as alpha, Ian is not being a great example. He's basically bullying Daniel as the Omega. He's encouraging fights and just these types of drama and throwing people out the windows, and he's kind of going insane. Sick of Ian and his games, Aphmau challenges him to the werewolf games that she made to decide who is going to be the true male alpha. But if she wins, he has to step down as alpha. But if he wins, she becomes his girlfriend. Blaze, remember him? Well, he comes in and saves the day. He decides to call Aaron, letting him know the situation and that Aphmau has got her phone taken by Ian. Aaron becomes angry, telling Blaze he will be at the school tomorrow morning. So another really important story thing that I didn't mention, throughout this season, Aaron has been dealing, like I said before, with a lot of shit. But one of the big things he's been dealing with is his eyes. His eyes have just been very red. Not like he has an eye infection, like his eyes are literally turning red. I don't want to reveal too much because the story will tell itself, like, why they're like that. But basically, Aaron decides that he needs to go help Aphmau. Knowing that Ian still has Aphmau's phone, Aaron decides to use it to set a trap where Ian will fight him in the gym instead of competing against her in the games. In a twisted turn of events, Daniel is the one that challenges Ian in the gym as Aaron's on his way to challenge Ian. Aaron does show up and eventually fight Ian, and this is where we find out why Aaron's eyes are glowing red. Not only is Aaron a werewolf, he's also the Ultima. No, I don't know, like, different werewolf terms. Like, I don't barely even know what the Omega is, but I don't even know what the Ultima is. All I know is that they're very dangerous and, like, scary. And that's what he is. Aaron beats Ian up. Ian gets expelled, maybe arrested. I put a question mark next to it. I'm unsure. After Aaron beats Ian, he actually throws Ian out the window, and then he also throws Daniel on top of Ian. So everyone thinks that Daniel beat Ian in a fight, which made Daniel the new alpha. Aphmau thanks Aaron for all of his help, and they decide to go back to her house like they did at the end of season 1. She says that she wants to still be with him, but he says that he can't have a relationship with her right now because he's still trying to figure his shit out. He promises to be with her one day, and they kiss again. However, her mom walks in, and we get the iconic jumping through the window scene with Aphmau in his arms. And that's basically the gist of season 1 and 2 of Phoenix Drop High. I would have loved a 3rd season, but the thing that comes after this is graduation days, which we will cover in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. This video took a really long time to make, but it was really fun to do. I am so hyped for season 7. You don't even know. MyStreet was everything to me as a middle school girl going through her really heavy anime phase and heavy Minecraft phase. So these two things together were like perfect for me. So I am hyped for season 7 to come out. But if you think this was messy, just wait till we get to season 4. My plan was for this second part to be like, okay, we're gonna do their college days and then we're gonna jump into MyStreet season 1. I forgot how long Falcon Claw University is. Hey everybody, welcome back to this chaos of rewatching all of Aphmau's MyStreet. If I sound kind of weird in this video, I apologize. I am sick, but I had time to binge rewatch 30 flippin' episodes. Last video in part 1, we covered season 1 and 2 of Phoenix Drop High. This video, we're gonna cover graduation days, which follows, I wanna say 2 years after the events of season 2 of Phoenix Drop High. And then we're also gonna cover all of Falcon Claw University. So we are officially in the college era. Aphmau just graduated from Phoenix Drop High. We see Caitlin again, and she actually tells us that she came down here to see Aphmau graduate. She brought her new girlfriend to Luca. We find out that Caitlin and Luca actually attend Falcon Claw University. Does that name sound familiar to anyone? Aphmau is actually planning on going to the orientation week at Falcon Claw University, where she's able to stay in a dorm for a few days on her own and see what it's like. During a hangout session after the graduation, Aphmau tells Caitlin that she hasn't really spoken to Aaron a lot in the past 2 years, which is crazy. Aphmau tells her that she just assumes that Aaron got busy, and she's also been busy too, so they just kind of stopped talking, but it wasn't like a big falling out or anything. She knows that Aaron goes to that university, but she decides not to tell him because they haven't really spoken in so long. We cut to the campus of Falcon Claw University, where we get introduced to a new character named Jenny, or Jennifer. Aaron's in Jenny's class, and every time he enters, she's like, oh my god, he's so dreamy. I have like the biggest crush on him. He's so mysterious. At this point, we do see Aaron again, but this time he's wearing a red bandana around his eyes. This bandana, remember when I told you this was going to be important? This is the bandana that Aphmau gave to him freshman year. Now, if you didn't watch the first part, you'll be a little confused here, but Aaron is the Ultima, and I think some of y'all told me in the comments that the Ultima has like red eyes because they have the power to transform humans into werewolves. So he's covering his eyes up because he doesn't want to change a bunch of random people into werewolves. Like, that's painful and that'd be awful. So that's why he's covering his eyes. Basically, Aaron feeling emotions is what activates his eyes most of the time. So he just basically has a red bandana over his eyes and he just goes to class that way. We meet Jenny's 2 friends, Betty and Kathy, and they tease her about her crush on Aaron. They happen to mention that they know that Aaron doesn't have a cell phone, which would explain the fact why he has not texted or called Aphmau in 2 years. During class one day, Jenny and Aaron's professor announces that students from Phoenix Drop High will be attending orientation week. The professor says this job should probably be for someone more outgoing, which Aaron is very much not right now. But Jenny also raises her hand and she's like, hey, I'll do it even though I didn't go to Phoenix Drop High. She gets the job and offers Aaron to be her assistant to get a chance to talk to him. Aaron walks away without saying anything. Aphmau gets there for orientation week, and we find out that Jenny is her team leader. Aphmau decides to go get a snack from the vending machine downstairs, and Aaron sees her and hides because he's like, oh my god, I haven't seen her in 2 years. He's debating on going up to her when Jenny calls him, and he runs away because he doesn't want Aphmau to see him yet. After being freaked out by seeing Aphmau for the first time, Aaron runs back to his dorm, and he takes off his bandana, and he's like, okay, get it together, man. We find out here that Aaron actually has special permission from the dean of students. Well, his dad basically paid for it. He's actually just alone on the top level of this dorm building. We also find out that Aaron has become very antisocial and I think has social anxiety. Aaron has not been allowed to really have friends or like have a social presence or interact with a lot of people. His whole life is just go to class and go back to his dorm and be constantly guarded 24/7. Some familiar faces we are seeing though around campus are Heyitsnan and also Zane. He just kind of like popped up out of nowhere. Some new characters we meet are Antonio, Tara, and Diana. Throughout the week, Aaron's trying so hard to man up and try to find the right time to go up and say hi to Aphmau, but he's just so nervous because he literally hasn't spoken to her. He didn't really give her an explanation of why he hasn't reached out. So he's just really nervous to go up to her again. So in this season, Aaron and Aphmau basically switch places. You know how Aphmau had Lawrence and Gareth and that love triangle in the first season of Phoenix Drop High? Well, Aaron actually has this weird love triangle with Jenny and Diana this first part. Actually, the whole college era. So while that love triangle's going on and Jenny's trying so hard to talk to Aaron and so is Diana and just try to they're both just trying to get close with him. Aaron's still trying to talk to Aphmau and Jenny's taking note that he always stares at her when she walks by. However, Diana is being very forward about her intentions with Aaron and is just like, you're cute, Aaron, let's take a picture. And he's like, oh, I have social anxiety. While that's all happening, Aphmau is making friends with Jenny and Jenny's introducing her to a bunch of other people, and Aphmau's also making a few friends here and there. So during the end of orientation week, Jenny decides to bring her group, which includes Aphmau, to her class with Aaron for them to experience what a college class is like. Aaron decides that if he cannot speak to Aphmau, maybe he should just write a letter just to have some type of contact with her. So they get to their class and Aaron's like, oh my god, Aphmau's right there. And then Aphmau still doesn't recognize him, but Jenny and Diana are both just flaunting over Aaron. Aphmau even sits right next to him and she says hello. He just doesn't respond because he's just so nervous. After the class, he ends up finally catching her and he takes off his bandana for the first time and his eyes are back to normal. They hug, but before they can even really talk, his dad's special security or whatever come and get him away from her basically. Aaron slipped his letter he was going to give her in her pocket when they hugged, and she goes and she reads it and she's like, yep, this is what I was missing. So Graduation Days is a very short mini-series. That's it. It basically just sets up for Falcon Claw University. It gives us our characters, it gives us their dynamics, and then it jumps in. So it's 2 months later, and the new semester is starting at FC. Aphmau is moving into her dorm, and her roommate is Tara, and she's also an undeclared major, we find out later on. One of the first things that Aphmau wants to do is to try to call Aaron, but his phone still does not have cell service. She's wondering if he's still on this campus because he gave her that letter, but now he's just not picking up. Two other characters we get introduced to near the beginning is Mac, who's a guy who has a cute little crush on Jenny, who's asked her out multiple times. And we also meet Ken, this other who's like one of my favorite characters actually. He's emo and he's a conspiracy theorist. That's all you need to know about him. While unpacking, Aphmau runs into Gareth and Zane. Zane is actually a freshman like her, but Gareth has been going there for about a year. After seeing Aph for the first time in forever, Gareth decides that he still wants to try again, and he still believes that he's in love with Aphmau from like high school. So Aphmau goes and she tries to look for Aaron's dorm room, but when she goes up to his floor, she sees that it's under construction, or even it was like torn apart, but Aaron is no longer there. It cuts to Aaron showing his father and his bodyguards that he had to clear his whole friend list on the online game him and Aphmau used to play. His father says he can still have the game, but he cannot have any friends on there, nor in real life. Later that night in the game, Aphmau is also online. Aaron decides to go up to her and tell her he had to unfriend her for personal reasons, but he still wanted a way to make contact with her. He asked her to go get coffee with him tomorrow, and she's like, yeah, sure, let's go. So Aphmau and Aaron meet up, they get coffee and they catch up, and he walks her back to her dorm and is like, night shoe, and she's like, night FC. And then a very suspicious person is creeping on him and Aphmau and slides a very threatening note, like a ransom note, under Aphmau's dorm door. Basically threatens her to stay away from Aaron. Aphmau was really bothered by the note that was left under her door, but she decides to not really share or talk about it with anyone because she doesn't want to worry anybody, and also she just hopes it'll go away. Jenny decides to ask Aphmau out to the movies with her and her friends, but it's just a reason for her to invite Aaron to go with them, which she does. Her other friend ends up inviting Diana and Ken with them as well. So this unofficial, established friend group is going out to the movies, and Aaron really wants to go, but he has to sneak out to meet them, and one of his bodyguards catches him. However, he covers for Aaron, telling him just do not do anything stupid, and lets him go. So I've mentioned it in the past, but I'm gonna mention it again now. Aaron has very heavy social anxiety, and not only is he nervous around being in front of Aph, but he's also nervous around being in front of a lot of people again. Aaron does, however, get his eyes under control, and he's able to take off his bandana and go talk to Aphmau and her friends. And when he shows up, Jenny and Diana are drooling over him. At the movies, Jenny and Diana are trying to talk to Aaron and get to know him, but Aaron is just trying to watch the movie and also help his social anxiety. I feel so bad for him. Near the end of the movie, it's pretty obvious to Jenny and Diana that both of them like Aaron, and now they have this weird rivalry tension, but they both notice that he actually hugs Aphmau goodbye to leave, and they're like, that's suspicious. So back on campus, there is a rumor going around that Aphmau had 4 boyfriends in high school. There are apparently also rumors going around that Aphmau gets around a lot. And of course, it's starting to bother her, and she becomes really upset and distant about the whole situation. So somewhere else, the bodyguard that helped Aaron go out is trying to help him live a little instead of being cooped up. He tells Aaron he actually doesn't know why he even needs to be protected, and he doesn't really care to know. So a few days later, these rumors have started to spread and gotten back to a few people around campus. And one day, Aphmau is studying outside when this dollar store looking Dante walks up to her and starts harassing her since he's heard the rumors and wants to get with her. Gareth nearby sees what's going on, and he comes over to help. Gareth ends up punching the guy so hard, he slams him into a tree, putting him in the hospital.
Dr. Umar just gonna have to understand, man. I've been across dimensions to swim in some milk, so just imagine what I would do for a Latina.
So this impact is not just like a gag being like, oh my god, Gareth whooped his ass. No, this is like an early sign of Gareth's like really weird supernaturalist strength that he just cannot control. So Gareth does end up going to the dean about this, and the dean's like, you have one chance. This could have been like attempted murder. You're lucky you're not like going to jail right now. That's how bad the impact was. Gareth looks down at his hands, and he even says himself he didn't even punch the guy that hard, so he's even confused how he could have thrown him so far. Anyway, enough about Gareth. Let's get back to Aaron. Aaron's starting to break out of his shell and actually have friends. He's got his eyes under control, so he doesn't have to wear his bandana. He's able to talk to friends, new people, his, just people that he meets, and they invite him to lunch, and he like goes and says yes. Aphmau, sadly, is on the other end of the spectrum, basically because of how bad the rumors have gotten and how much people are talking about her when she like enters a building. So Aphmau's kind of distanced herself out of the social picture for right now. Luca, Caitlin's girlfriend, talks to Aph and asks if she may know who started the rumor. Aphmau says that she doesn't know, But this is when she finally opens up about that weird note that was slipped under her dorm room a few weeks ago. Diana also ends up getting a very threatening letter under her door, and her and Ken decide to try to figure out who they think it is. So Aaron's enjoying his freedom, basically, of being able to go hang out with his college friends, but the bodyguard who has been giving him grace tells him he now has a curfew since he's starting to go out a way later. Aaron agrees to the curfew, saying he doesn't want to lose what he has. So Aaron, Aphmau, and the whole friend group decide to meet up and go to the mall one day, and it's obvious to Aaron that something is wrong with Aphmau. She's being very distant, she's not really talking. Aaron offers to hug her to make her feel better, but she actually ends up rejecting it, thinking that people will see her and assume something about like him and her being together, and just not helping the rumors. So at the mall, Diana and Jenny are still trying to put the moves on Aaron, and Aphmau is noticing this, and she's like, oh my god, what if it was Diana who slid that note under my door? And then Diana's like, oh my god, what if it was Jenny who slid that note under my door? As you can tell, this is a very stable and totally trustworthy friend group. Jumping to the other plot, Aaron's dad is starting to become suspicious of him sneaking out and stating that he's spending 5 times more his allowance. The bodyguard tries to lie for Aaron, but his dad finds his movie ticket he saved, knowing he left. He ends up canceling Aaron's card. So in Aaron and Jenny's class, the professor one day decides like, hey, we're gonna do a group project, and Aaron and Jenny become group partners. So while Aaron and Jenny are outside one day working on their project, a guy comes out of nowhere and tackles Aaron to the ground. This guy is Xavier, and he claims to be one of Aaron's childhood friends, one he used to play when they were young. We do find out pretty quickly that this is actually not Aaron's friend.
So that was a fucking lie.
But this is actually an agent his dad hired to spy on him while at school. So on campus, there's this very popular coffee place where a lot of the scenes take place. And there's this episode where Zane and Heyitsnan start working there together. That's just a small tidbit, but I just think it's really cute that they canonically worked in a coffee shop together during their college years. Okay, sorry, back to the main plot. So Xavier is starting to show up around school more since he's a field agent, and kind of messing with Aaron and like basically pointing that he needs to wear his bandana, and is also just making fun of Aaron's insecurities. Xavier's not really doing his job of being a bodyguard. He's just being very cryptid and spooky and saying things like, your friends will become my friends, and Aaron's just like, huh? So at this point, we finally get the name of the bodyguard that's been protecting Aaron from his dad and letting him sneak out. We don't really get his real name, but he just tells Aaron to call him Agent R. So one night, Aaron's like, hey, Agent R, I gotta go meet up with Jenny because we're doing a group project. And he's like, bet, I'll help you sneak out. And so they trick Xavier thinking they're gonna go meet at the mall, but actually Aaron's gonna go meet Jenny outside somewhere. So while talking, him and Jenny talk about what they want in this world, and they're getting very vulnerable, and Aaron says that he's always wanted a family, one of his own. I literally started shedding tears. So moved by his vulnerability, Jenny decides to confess to him right there, right now, saying that she wants to be with him. She asks if she can be his girlfriend, and out of pure shock and anxiety and just like, what's going on, man blurts out yes.
Can I be your girlfriend?
Yes.
Before Aaron can clear anything up, being like, wait, I didn't mean that, Xavier finds him, making up some lie for him to leave. So him and Jenny are like, dating, question mark? They're not really dating. Jenny thinks they're dating, but Aaron's like, I only have eyes for one woman. I can't do this. So the next day, Aaron's like, hey, can we keep our relationship a secret for right now? Because I didn't mean it like that. But she's like, yeah, of course, but I'm gonna tell Kathy and Betty. They're my besties. And he's like, wait. And she's like, whatever. And he's like, okay. Aaron actually confides in Agent R about the whole situation, and Agent R is like, listen, you don't want to string her along. You don't want to hurt her feelings. You need to tell her how you feel. And then he also says, it's also obvious that you have feelings for another girl, Aphmau. Speaking of Aphmau, we actually haven't seen her in a minute because she's been kind of out of the social presence, trying to like let the rumors die down. She decides to finally get out and get some sun and just like do something that she enjoys. So she ends up going out and entering the free play soccer that Kathy hosts, and she's finally feeling like herself again and just doing something that she enjoys. So while Aph is getting ready to go play soccer, someone slips another note under her door. This does bother her a little bit, but I think she definitely handles it better this time, being like, I'm not gonna let random people get to me. I'm gonna do for myself. These people have no idea what they're even talking about. So Aphmau and Aaron finally get to speak again. He catches her while she's playing soccer one day. Kathy like looks at him in a weird way while she's talking to Jennifer. Just keep this in mind. Just keep this in mind for later. So Garth is still thinking about Aphmau and how he wants to ask her out, and this is when we find out that Mac is actually Garth's roommate. Remember that guy like from the very beginning of the season? So Garth does end up asking Aphmau out to like go out somewhere, but then more people join and he's awkward, so he's like, the more the merrier, I guess. So his date with Aphmau basically turns into a giant friend group hangout where they all decide to go to the beach. At the beach, Garth throws Aph into the ocean, but she didn't tell anyone that she can't swim. Aaron does save her, lying to him that it was her ankle. A few days later, Garth does apologize for it, and he also ends up telling Aph how he feels for her and how he still feels the same like he did in high school. She does reject him, saying she's just not ready for a relationship right now. That is L number 2 in the books for Garth. My guy keeps losing. So Aaron is still trying to figure out how to break up with Jenny, but every time he tries to like talk to her about it, either she leaves or Xavier interrupts them. So Xavier's plan is he's actually working against Aaron and Aaron's dad and their family. He actually wants to prove that Aaron is the Ultima and prove that the Ultima is real. So his plan is to basically make Aaron mad, and so when he wolfs out, he's able to record him. Xavier stalks Aaron for a bit, trying to figure out if he has some type of weakness or like a close friend. And of course, he figures out that he has a weakness for Aphmau. Xavier decides to befriend Aphmau, trying to get close to her and bother Aaron even more. Derek, Aaron's dad, suddenly visits the campus, stating that if Aaron doesn't shape up, there will be consequences. He's like, I know what you've been doing. So one day, Xavier and Aph are getting coffee, and he basically lies to Aphmau's face, saying that he's Aaron's childhood friend. Aphmau knows that he's lying, so she decides to get up and leave. He goes to kick her, but before he can even do anything, or Aaron stepping in, she goes and kicks him in the balls.
So just imagine what I would do for a Latina.
So while they're hanging out, Aph notices that Aaron keeps putting up his hoodie and almost like he's avoiding someone. He tells her the whole thing about Jenny and how he can't break up with her, and she tells him that he needs to follow his heart and do what's best for him. So after this talk with Aphmau, he finally goes and breaks up with Jenny. Jenny takes it very hard and she starts crying, and she's crying in the arms of her 2 best friends, Betty and Kathy. After talking with Agent R, Aaron leaves his room, unknowing to him that his father was still in the other room listening to him and Agent R talk. Agent R is fired by his dad, saying that you did not protect my son, and basically, you're off this case. While Aaron is leaving, he bumps into Kathy, where she admits that she likes him, and she's the one who planted the notes against Jenny, Diana, and Aphmau. And she started the rumors about Aphmau. She's like a literal psychopath, I think. Actually, I think she's a yandere. Like, I think that was canon, that she's actually just like a straight up yandere. Anyway, she was wild. Betty and Jenny actually overhear them, and they stop her to take her to the dean.
Milk. So just imagine what I would do for a Latina.
Jenny apologizes to Aaron for how she treated him, and they're chilling. Oh, she also runs into Mac, the guy that likes her from the very beginning of the season, and she asks him to go walk with her to the dean. And I think it's supposed to hint that those two like may have a thing in the future, but I was like, oh, like I'm happy that they're getting their happy ending. So Aaron's dad meets Aaron in his room, and he says that he got a call from the dean about how some girls got into a fight because of him, aka Jenny, Kathy, and Betty. He says that this will bring more attention to Aaron, which is what he does not want. Aaron tells his father that he does not want to be under his control anymore, and that he does not want to be part of this family anymore if he's just not going to be able to have his own life. Aaron rushes out of the room, leaving his dad behind, leaving college behind, leaving all of his friends behind, and just being like, you know what, peace, I'm gonna go make a life for my own, with or without your support or your money. 2 years later, we get a time skip, people. Aaron just got his own apartment after a few months of saving up, and it's hinted that he's been working night shifts. He's also wearing his bandana around his eyes again. I don't know if that's just because for looks or his eyes are still acting up again because of his feelings, but either way, he's wearing his red bandana again. Aphmau ends up actually visiting him and buys him a phone so they can keep in touch. She is also going into her final semester at college. Aphmau gives him a box by Agent R, having all of his stuff from college in it, including his gaming computer, his books. Aaron gives her a quick little tour of his apartment, and that's it. I will say FC University is one of the longer seasons because there was so much information about Aaron and his family that was given to us. This season, Aphmau really took a seat back from being like the main character. It was mostly Aaron and just trying to find his way and find this independence that he really needed to start his life. Part 3 will be coming out as soon as I can get it done. But I am excited because we are officially going to be entering the silly, goofy era. If you're wondering what I mean by the silly, goofy era, I mean the era where Aphmau has 5 love interests, they all live on the same street, no one has development yet, nothing super crazy, and Aaron doesn't wear a shirt half the time. Okay, so I was just in Walgreens. Oh! And look what I found! I went in to go get my skincare, and I was just glancing down the aisles to see what they had. Look! I didn't know she was at Walgreens. I know she was at Target, but I didn't know she was at Walgreens. It's supposed to be like, maybe I should have read it. It's a mystery meow squishy figure. Oh, my hair looks insane. I'm so sorry. I've never like got one of these before. I've seen them and I think they're really cute. Oh my god, my hair looks crazy right now. For real, I've never got one of these before. Get one. I want the plushies, but I've just never like just got one. I don't know why. Oh my god, it's like jelly. Oh, look at it. It's like a little pie. It's like a little pie cat. That is so, come on, that's so cute. It is squishy. I gotta get him out of the sun or else he's gonna melt, but surprise. It was only like $6 too. Approved. Someone tell me not to buy it. Someone tell me not to buy it. Someone tell me not to buy it. Hey gang, welcome back to rewatching all of Aphmau's MyStreet. While I was editing the last video, they actually came out with a drop on their merch store of the Aaron and Aphmau hoodies, and Aaron's jacket is still the same. Bro, I wanted that so badly as a kid. I don't need it, but gosh dang, wouldn't that be kind of cool to have? Last part, we covered all of graduation days, and then we also covered all of Falcon Claw University. In this episode, we're gonna cover all of The Big Move, which is a mini series that's like 5 episodes that sets up for the season, and then we're gonna cover all of MyStreet season 1. So MyStreet is technically a spin-off slice of life series that has some of the characters from Diaries, which was the main role play at the time on the channel. So throughout The Big Move and throughout season 1, there are a lot, and I mean a lot of references to Diaries. That's why I call this part the silly goofy era, because technically it's like the very beginning because it was the first thing that ever came out. You can kind of tell that the Diaries references slowly stop showing up throughout the season as the season starts to become its own story. And we can go into the fact of like, oh, Diaries is actually the prequel to all of MyStreet because it's in the same universe. I don't know. I don't understand the timeline of that. Maybe one day I'll cover all of Diaries, because Diaries itself is actually very well written and amazing. It's got a great plot, great characters, and my god, I would pay so much money to see that thing be finished. Anyway, let's like actually get into it now. So Aphmau lives in her own apartment, and Garth and Lawrence actually live across from her. Aphmau is actually planning on moving out, but she's really nervous to tell Garth and Lawrence. She invites Aaron over to help her pack up her stuff, and Garth and Lawrence become suspicious that something is going on between them.
Are you kidding me? Look at us, Garth. We're two fine specimens of men.
Okay, here we go. So they show up in... I wrote down plumber outfits, but very specific plumber outfits. They dress up as plumbers to trick her to like come in, I guess, and figure out what's going on. But she's not stupid, so she's like, Garth and Lawrence, get the hell out of here. While her and Aaron are starting to like pack up some more stuff, and Garth and Lawrence are standing outside of the door watching through the window, her dog Celestia trips her and she falls into Aaron's arms. Garth and Lawrence see this, and I think they try to break in, ? Aphmau and Aaron end up going out the fire escape in her apartment to get away from Garth and Lawrence, and they end up going to IHOP for breakfast, where conveniently Kawaii-chan and Caitlin also work. At IHOP, Aphmau actually asks Kawaii-chan and Caitlin to move in with her to the place she's moving to, and they both say yes. Also in this IHOP establishment, we get a first glance of Kawaii-chan's shipping problem. It's another one of those things where it's like, you gotta hear me out about this. So apparently recently Kawaii-chan has gotten really into shipping and is like shipping all of her like in real life friends and kind of push them together, and she actually is the biggest shipper of Aphmau and Aaron. So Kawaii-chan's freaking out because they're here together, and she's like, oh my god, they're here on a date, let me bring them a cake. And so she brings them a couple's cake at IHOP for breakfast, and she brings them 1 spoon. They decide to both eat the cake, and while they're eating the cake with 1 spoon still, might I add, Kawaii-chan's on the side taking photos of them. So back at the apartment, Aphmau finally tells Garth and Lawrence that she is moving, but when they ask her where she's moving to, she's like, I'm not gonna tell y'all. They decide to go against her wishes and try to find out where she's moving anyway. I will probably say it throughout this video like 10 times, but Garth and Lawrence are actually menaces in season 1 of MyStreet. So Caitlin and Kawaii-chan go to their own apartments and they start packing up their stuff to move in. Garth and Lawrence actually find out that they're moving in with Aphmau, and they decide to go ask Kawaii-chan if she needs any help. Basically, they're trying to get information out of her, either through like her or her phone, trying to find this address to know where Aphmau is moving to. Of course, Kawaii-chan does find out, and she kicks them out of her apartment. So the reason why Garth and Lawrence really want to find this address and know where she's going to be is because they're nervous that they're going to lose Aphmau to Aaron. And if she moves somewhere that's right next door to him, she can go over there all the time, and they can hang out all the time, and they're like, oh my god, we're gonna lose her. Oh, by the way, this whole miniseries happens in 1 day. But throughout the day, Aphmau is planning on inviting everyone out to dinner that night to Olive Garden. So before the dinner, Aphmau and Aaron decide to go to a cake shop and buy a cake for everybody who's gonna be at the dinner. And while they're there, a girl named Michi actually ends up getting fired. Aaron actually ends up getting some cake on his face, and Aphmau goes to wipe it off for him, and Garth and Lawrence see this through the window, and they're like, oh, that's lovey-dovey, that's too much. They both see Michi walk out of the cake shop, and Lawrence is like, follow her, I have an idea. So at Olive Garden that night, Garth and Lawrence are acting very suspicious, more than usual. At one point, Aaron leaves to go to the bathroom, and while he's heading that way, Michi knocks him out and steals his clothes. We find out that Garth and Lawrence paid her to take his clothes so one of them could dress as Aaron and ask for Aphmau's address. Did I mention they are insane? Garth actually is the one that ends up dressing up as Aaron and going out and asking Aphmau for her address. Aphmau is not stupid, so she realizes that it's Garth and calls him out on it. Aaron conveniently walks out of the bathroom with just his boxers and is like, can I have my shirt back? And every girl in the restaurant faints because he's just so hot. Pause. I think a really good thing that MyStreet does have, though, are these running bits throughout the season. And one of them is just Aaron is just so hot that like everyone's like, oh my god. Anyway, so Garth and Lawrence return to their apartment defeated.
I wish there was a way I could make it up to you in your rock hard abs. I mean, Whoops.
They're talking about the situation. They're like, I think we need an outside perspective. And they call over Dante. Dante, who is also mad that he didn't get an invite to Olive Garden. Dante tells them that they're going about it the whole wrong way and that they need to get Aphmau's attention back to them so she can appreciate them. I don't know. He suggests the idea to make her jealous, and so his plan is, why don't Lawrence and Gareth flirt with another girl in front of her so she becomes jealous and is like, oh my god, I want their attention again. So that night, Aphmau actually ends up taking Aaron out to the movies to make up for what Lawrence and Garth did at the restaurant. And Aphmau's like, I think this is a bad idea. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know. I just don't want them to show up anymore and like mess with you. And he's like, man, screw them. Let's hang out. And she's like, okay. So in the movie, Lawrence and Garth actually show up with Michi. And I guess they hired her again. I don't know. But their plan is to flirt with her right in front of Aphmau while she's sitting with Aaron.
I hope I don't ever find you and Michi in the forest making out and assume that it's really you guys and end up going evil for a period of time to work with my brother to doom the land.
Aaron actually ends up putting his arm around Aphmau, and of course Lawrence and Garth like freak out and they're like, what are you doing? Don't touch her! They go to attack Aaron, I think, and then Aaron's like, I have a secret weapon, and he like snaps his fingers, and all of the girls in the theater are like, oh my god, we're gonna beat these guys up because they're messing with our hot guy Aaron. So after all that, it's like late that night, and Aphmau decides that she wants to go hang out with Lawrence and Garth in their apartment one last time before she moves, because she's like feeling nostalgic or whatever. Even after all of that, she's like, yeah, they're still my friends. While they're getting ready to watch a movie in their apartment, they end up stealing her purse like thieves and find her address online. Unknowing, they're insane! While looking at her address, they actually find out that there is conveniently and also a free house right across from her, but they quickly realize that they cannot afford that. They decide to call Dante back over and is like, hey Dante, we're gonna peer pressure you into moving in with us. And Dante's like, wait,
I don't want to move.
and they're like, well, too bad. Dante agrees, but then he tells them how once they get there, he's basically gonna try to steal Aphmau away from them. And they're like, and now there's another guy in this whole mess. So they're having that whole conversation in like Lawrence or Garth's bedroom or whatever, and while Aphmau's just sitting in the kitchen like, la 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 la, and she doesn't know any of this is happening. And that's the end of the big move. It happens all in one day. It's very fast and it's very chaotic, and then it jumps into MyStreet season 1. So it's the next day, and Aphmau, Kawaii-chan, and Caitlin are all moving into their new house together in the suburbs. It's hinted, and it's funny enough, it's hinted that Aphmau actually has a night job, which is connecting this roleplay to another roleplay she did of a FNAF miniseries. It's not specified in this that it's a FNAF job, but in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's working at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Anyway, they start moving in, and while visiting the next door neighbor, Brendan, they notice that someone else is actually moving into the house across from them. They go over to greet these other neighbors, and they find out, of course, it's Gareth, Lawrence, and Dante, and they are moving in. So while interrogating all of them in front of their house, they're all acting very suspicious and are like, what? You moved here? That's crazy. So she leaves the boys and is like, whatever, and she goes back into her house to find Kawaii-chan and Caitlin, and she's looking for them like, hey guys, where you guys at? And instead of finding Kawaii-chan, she actually finds Kawaii-chan's shrine. Remember when I said back when they were at IHOP that Kawaii-chan was getting really into shipping, and she was getting into shipping Aphmau and Aaron? Well, in the basement of their shared home now, Kawaii-chan has a shrine to Aphmau and Aaron, and she goes to it, and I quote, to give strength to her ship. I mean, like, it must have worked, because I mean, we all know they're together, but like, damn, it's crazy. Anyway, so we've also find out later on that Zane also lives on their street, and he's in charge of the neighborhood watch. So it's the next day, and the girls are still moving in, trying to get a few things together, and they decide to order pizza that night. So the pizza guy we meet is actually named Reese, and he's this guy who's just pink all over, and he claims that he's from another dimension. I don't know. Aphmau actually goes to grab some money from her bedroom real quick, and while the guy's waiting at the door with the pizza, Kawaii-chan sees him and is like, oh my god, I'm in love. Aphmau gets back from getting the money, and she's like, oh, where'd the guy go? And Kawaii-chan's like, oh, he said it was on the house. And she's like, oh, okay, cool. So later on, Aphmau's upstairs and she's grabbing Caitlin and Kawaii-chan to come down and eat. And she walks into Kawaii-chan's room and she sees the pizza guy asleep on her bed. Kawaii-chan explains that she offered him a cookie because she was so starstruck by this man's beauty, but apparently this cookie was a magic sleeping cookie. Why does she even have those? I don't know. But she accidentally put him to sleep with the cookie, and she didn't want Aphmau to freak out because she also freaked out at the shrine yesterday. And so Aphmau's like, fine. It's fine. Let's just get him downstairs. I love Kawaii-chan, by the way. I want to make that very clear. She's one of my favorite characters. But my God, was she insane in the beginning of the show? Anyway, so Reese wakes up on their couch and is like, what happened? And they're like, oh, you just like fainted or whatever. And he says like, thank you. And Kawaii-chan freaks out. And now she has a big crush on him. So like a few days later, after all of that mess, Aphmau actually ends up going over to the guy's house and to hang out with them and to like kind of see their new place. And she also wants to apologize about assuming that they moved here just to live next to her. While she's over there, the guys are all kind of going back and forth, fighting to get her attention, but Garth and Lawrence cannot keep their cool around her, so she ends up going into Dante's room and hanging out with him. Garth and Lawrence freak out because they think they hear Dante or Aphmau doing something or whatever, and then Garth freaks out, and we get the iconic,
Dante, you're dead!
Obviously nothing was actually happening between them, and Aphmau leaves, because she's like, I can't stand y'all. So it's suddenly winter, and it's the holiday season. So Kawaii-chan tells Aphmau that she really wants to buy a Christmas gift for Reese, even though she literally hasn't spoken to him. Like, Aphmau decides to say yes and go help her pick out a gift for him, but at the mall, they kind of get into a little bit of an argument, and Kawaii-chan ends up running away. She later finds Kawaii-chan crying on the ground, and she's like, girl, what happened? She's like, I spent all of my money on pony things because those salespeople were just so good at their job. Zane ends up coming over here, and apparently he's working part-time as mall security. Zane sees that Kawaii-chan is crying, and usually he wouldn't do this, but he sees that she bought a limited edition pony figures. And so he's like, hey, if you give me a discount, I'll buy all of them off of you. And she's like, bet. And she gets her money back. And it's all good. So it is still the holiday season, and Aphmau actually gets turned into a cat. I'm not going to give any further details about that, but she needs to spread cat mischeer. She goes over to the guy's house as a cat, and Garth picks her up, and he quickly forms a bond with her and names her Sprinkles. She's like, this is weird. No, I'm not going to the vet. And she ends up running and bumping into Zane. She ends up following Zane home as a cat, and, you know, they're chilling or whatever, and then she ends up giving him the Christmas sweater her cat version's wearing as like a gift. And this is the first gift outside of family that Zane has gotten for Christmas. Zane, of course, is a little like, oh my God, like, do I actually have a friend and a cat? And then she turns back to normal, and he's like, oh, it was a prank. And she's like, oh, bye. So Zane thinks all of that was just a prank, and he's a little like mad about it. Just keep this in mind for later. We'll pick up this storyline later. So it's getting closer to Christmas, and Aphmau and the girls decide, hey, we're gonna throw a Christmas / welcoming party to our new house. They invite everyone over, including Aaron, who shows up a little bit late, and it's also the first time we've seen Aaron since the big move. Kawaii-chan also invites Reese and Michi. So during the party, there is a mistletoe in their house, and Dante, Lawrence, and Garth are all trying to get Aphmau under there so they can kiss her. So while trying to get her under it, Reese ends up under it, and Michi as well, and they end up kissing, and Kawaii-chan faints because of this. Aphmau actually ends up under the mistletoe that night with Aaron, but they don't kiss. They actually don't even acknowledge it, and they're like, okay, whatever, bye. So remember when Zane was really bitter, thinking that the whole cat thing was a prank? Well, during Christmas, he actually becomes the Grinch. With the help of Pinky Cake, the pony figure, coming to life, he actually attempts to steal Christmas from MyStreet.
You're a mean one, Mr. Zane. You really are a heel.
While he's trying to steal the tree in Aphmau's house, Aphmau catches him, and she's like, Santa, what are you doing? And then she's like, wait a second, Zane? He tells her how he's mad that the whole thing was a prank and that he feels disrespected, and also that she didn't invite him to her holiday party. And she's like, I did invite you to the holiday party. Don't you check your mail? And he was like, what? And she's like, your mailbox? And he's like, oh, I don't check my mailbox. Huh? She also ends up giving him a gift, a picture she got someone to make of him and her as a cat. And it's really sweet because this is the first, again, another first real gift that he's gotten from someone outside of his family. So Zane returns Christmas to all of MyStreet, and him and Aphmau actually end up under the mistletoe on Christmas Day, and she gives him a little kiss on the cheek. So after the whole shebang at Christmas and the whole Grinch situation or whatever, Aphmau and Zane actually start becoming friends and hanging out, and people are starting to notice and are like, didn't y'all hate each other?
Okay, I'm not even gonna.
You're fun. I thought you were a piece of shit. I honestly thought you were an asshole.
So New Year's actually comes pretty quickly, and Garth and Lawrence decide to throw a really last minute New Year's Eve party. So at the party, a bunch of people start showing up, like Jeffrey, Emmeline, Kemmer, I always say his name wrong, I'm sorry. So at the party, it's getting close to midnight, and Aphmau sees Emmeline run to the bathroom, and she seems like really upset and nervous, and she runs in there and she's like, hey girl, what's up? And she's like, I really want to kiss Kemmer at midnight, but I don't know how to. And so she ends up giving her some smooshy advice. We find out in the other room, in Garth's bedroom, Garth is giving advice to Kemmer to kiss Emmeline, and it's pretty questionable advice.
You puff out your feathers like this and do a little dance. This will not only attract her to you, but will scare off other males as well. Wow.
There's so many good bits in this season. I can't. They do end up kissing, though. We don't really see them the rest of the season, but I love seeing them because they were in Diaries, and they are very important in Diaries, and they're just great characters. So it's a new year, and we find out that after the New Year's Eve party, Dante and Garth started buying a lot of feathers online to make themselves more attractive to girls. Apparently, they spent hundreds of dollars on these feathers, so much so that they had to get a fourth roommate to pay for rent. Their fourth roommate actually ends up being Travis. Travis makes his grand return to MyStreet. Also in this episode, I just want to point this out. It is canon that Lawrence and Garth can communicate telepathically.
Wait, Lawrence? Was that you?
Garth? Are we communicating with our thoughts?
Who cares?
Like I said before, Aphmau and Zane are actually starting to hang out, and they actually hang out by bonding over ponies, and it's really, really wholesome. I love that. Aphmau is Zane's first friend ever he's ever had in his whole life. So when she's like, hey, do you want to make some new friends? He's like, I don't really know about it. I'm still kind of new to this whole friendship thing. So they're talking upstairs in Aphmau's room, and downstairs, Travis actually comes over and introduces himself to Kawaii-chan and Caitlin. Kawaii-chan invites him in, and she actually invites him to bake cookies with her, and he's like, yeah, sure. And so him, her, and Caitlin are all hanging out downstairs, and Zane and Aphmau are upstairs. Aphmau decides, hey, do you want to go downstairs and meet some people and make some new friends? And Zane's like, I guess so. Zane does try to talk to them downstairs and try to get to know them, but honestly, he's not really into it. And so he's like, you know what, Aphmau, I just want to take this slow. I just want to have one friend right now. And she's like, I get that. So while Zane's leaving, Travis and Kawaii-chan have burned down the kitchen because they were not watching the cookies. So for right now, the girls are out of their house because their house has too many damages from the fire.
The rest of the house can be fixed with a little paint, and Kawaii-chan here can be fixed with a little TLC, which stands for Travis Loving Care.
And Kawaii-chan's like, oh my god, I feel so bad. I have to make this up to them. So Kawaii-chan decides to get a second job to help pay for the damages of the house, and she actually goes and applies for a maid cafe that just opened up in the city. She begs Aphmau to go with her in hopes of seeming more serious about the job, and Aphmau's like, yeah, sure, I'll go. While there, Michi gets fired in front of them again from this job. I swear, Michi's like Trish from Austin Alley. She has so many jobs.
Guess you got a job at? She's out of my league!
But yeah, Michi quits and she leaves, and then the hostess that they're talking to is like, actually, something just opened up. Do you want to do a trial run day? Kawaii-chan and Aphmau like, I guess so. And they both get dragged into doing a trial day. Garth, Lawrence, Dante, and Travis end up showing up to this maid cafe because they heard the girl, specifically Aphmau, was working there. And they're like, oh my god, we want to see Aphmau, oh my god. Aphmau doesn't want them to see her dressed up like that, so she hides in the back. And she actually ends up running into Zane. Zane, conveniently, is apparently working part-time as a delivery truck guy. He's also like Trish from Austin Alley. Him and Michi just have so many jobs.
Guess who got a job at It's a Racket?
She tells him the whole thing about about not wanting to go out because she doesn't want the guys to see her this way. And Zane's like, hey,
Take off your clothes.
Ouch!
I don't even know what to think of you right now.
why don't we just switch clothes and they can see me in it? And she's like, bet. And so they switch clothes and he ends up going out there and she wears his clothes to go get hers. Zane, even though this is his first friendship, he's doing a great job at friending right now. He's doing great. Love him. So even though Heyitsnan originally was the only one going in for the job, her and Aphmau actually both start working there together to pay for the damages of the house because it pays pretty well apparently. So they're both just like, well, might as well just work here. So throughout the season, it's hinted that Aphmau and Aaron do hang out a lot outside of everybody else. But everyone's always a little bit like, what's going on with those two? Like, they're weird, especially Lawrence and Garth because they freak out over every little thing. So at the beginning of the new year, apparently Heyitsnan promised Aphmau that she would take down her shrine of her and Aaron, and she does, but we find out that she actually replaces it with a shrine of Dante and Nicole. Anyway, that's what Heyitsnan's doing right now. Caitlin is actually deciding that she wants to put on a neighborhood play. She explains that she's always had an interest in theater and would love to do something with it. And of course, Aphmau encourages her and is like, you should do it, you should do it. And she's like, okay, I want to put on Romeo and Juliet. And she's like, bet, do it. And she's like, will you be Juliet? And she's like, they end up holding auditions and all of the guys are trying to get the role of Romeo, you know, and everybody's like, oh my God, like, who's gonna kiss Aphmau? So all of the boys are auditioning, including Aaron. And when Aaron goes up to audition, Caitlin's like, can you take off your bandana and your hood? I can't hear you. I need to see your emotions. And he's like, okay. And he takes it off and all of the fangirls run up and she's like, oh my God, Kate, you got the part, Aaron. Oh my God. And he's like, I didn't even get to do anything. So Aaron gets the part just because he's just so hot. So Aphmau's freaking out because she's like, oh my God, Aaron's playing Romeo. That means we're gonna have to kiss. Lawrence and Garth, of course, are like freaking out like, oh my God, we have to prevent this. How dare she have a love life that doesn't include us? So on the days leading up to the play happening and the kiss, Garth and Lawrence are trying everything to just like get Aaron out of the production. They even go as far as trying to board him into his own house. Lucinda actually ends up showing up with a switch places potion, and she ends up giving it to Lawrence being like, if you want this for that kiss, it's yours. And he was like, bet. So he takes it and she's like, are you gonna tell Garth about it? And he's like, heck no, that kiss is mine. So during the actual play, Garth boards Aaron up in the bathroom so he can't do the kiss scene, and Caitlin comes running in, is like, where's Aaron? And they're like, oh, I don't know. And then she's like, okay, Garth, you're going on as Aaron, just put on this mask. And he's like, okay. So Lawrence doesn't realize that it's actually Garth, Aaron's place, and Aphmau's about to kiss him on stage when he uses the potion, but it actually switches places with her. And so Lawrence ends up kissing Garth. So after the play is all wrapped up and Aaron's finally free out of the bathroom, he finds Aphmau on stage and there's no one there. And he's like, hey, and she's like, hey, I'm so sorry that you got locked up. Like, I was really looking forward to that kissing scene, haha. And he's like, oh, really? And she's like, yeah, what? And then he kisses her. She ends up telling Zane about her and Aaron's kiss. And of course, Zane is like, what? Y'all have to date now. What do you mean y'all not dating? I will make him date you.
How can I be calm? You and Aaron kissed! Huh? Did you feel that?
There's a disturbance. I think we need to check on Aphmau.
She tells him that her and Aaron just kind of want to keep things casual right now and not tell anyone really because they don't want everyone to put their own like noses in her business. So they're like, you know what, we're just gonna stay friends and we may just go on a date here and there. We're not dating or anything. So not just Zane, but like everyone's like, what is going on with Aphmau and Aaron? Like they are hanging out all the time. They're always like awkward around each other. Like something is going on. Something is brewing. So it's February and Travis is super excited about Valentine's Day because he actually got a kind of official date with Caitlin. He ends up asking Aphmau to go on a double date with her and Aaron and him and Caitlin to make Caitlin feel more comfortable on the date and like try to open up to him more. Unwillingly, Aphmau agrees to go do this and she's like, fine, let's just not have it get back to everybody. But of course, It gets back to everybody. Garth and Lawrence hear that she's going out on a double date with Aaron, and they're like, what the hell, Travis? Why didn't you tell us about this? Travis actually ends up lying to them, saying that Aphmau is just pretending to date Aaron to make Caitlin feel comfortable during their date. And they're like, of course she would do that. She's just so kind. So Garth and Lawrence actually end up getting dates themselves to also go on this double date thing. And then next thing I know, the whole street is going out on Valentine's Day. So the pairings for Valentine's Day are Aphmau and Aaron, Garth and Cadenza, Lawrence and Lucinda, Heyitsnan and Reese, Travis and Caitlin, Zane and Michi, and Dante and Nicole. So big group. Big group of people. And Travis decides to plan the whole thing, and he decides to take everyone out to the arcade. So like I said before, Michi's out with them as well. I don't know why they keep inviting Michi to things when she keeps sabotaging them. But during the date, Michi's like, I don't like Zane, I like Aaron. And so she tries to steal Aaron away from Aphmau. Also during this Valentine's date at the arcade, all the girls go in the bathroom and they do a little girl talk, and Lucinda actually tells them she brought a love potion with them just in case if anyone needed it. Michi overhears this in the bathroom and she's like, I'm gonna use that on Aaron. So while Aaron's off getting Aphmau a snack, Michi actually tries to use the love potion on him, but instead of it being a love potion, it's actually one that makes you look identical to a person, and it makes her look exactly like Aphmau. She uses the potion and she goes up to Aaron and she's like, oh my god, Aaron, kiss me. And Aaron goes to kiss her because he thinks that's Aphmau, but then the real Aphmau comes around the corner and is like, what the hell? And then as soon as she turns around the corner, Michi turns back to normal. And Aaron's like, it's not what it looks like. And she's like, how could you? However, Garth and Lawrence saw the whole thing, and they tell Aphmau that Michi used a potion, and Aaron wasn't trying to kiss smoochy with Michi. And she's like, that makes sense. So at the end of the date, Aaron walks Aphmau home, and after their date, they kiss in front of the door, and it's really sweet, and it's like, oh, cute. And then Zane comes out and acts like her dad, and it's a whole thing. It's a whole running bit that Zane's like her father. So it's a little bit later, and Valentine's Day's long and gone. And Vlad, Garth and Zane's younger brother, actually comes back into town. He ends up asking Aphmau if he can stay with them for a few days just until his new apartment gets finished up. And she's like, yeah, sure, but you have to live in our basement. He's like, bet. And so Vlad's now living in their basement. So a week or so later, Vlad's still chilling at Aphmau's house. His mother calls him and is like, oh my god, is Zane dating Aphmau? And he's like, huh? Apparently their mother saw that Aphmau posted a selfie with Zane, and she made assumptions and was like, oh my god, they're dating, I'm so proud of him. So Garth and Vlad try to tell their mom, like, no, Zane's not dating her, they're just friends. And she becomes upset and she's sad and she's like, oh my god. And he's like, okay, fine, they are dating, mom. And she's like, I knew it, I'm coming into town. So this leads to Garth, Vlad, and Zane begging Aphmau to pretend to date Zane while their mom is in town to make her happy.
Well, looks like I'm in the clear. Now I gotta get back to...
Aphmau!
Gareth! What the... How did you even...
There was a ladder in the garage.
So Aphmau unwillingly agrees and is like, fine, I will do it, but she just does so many things where she's like, fine, I guess I'll do it. So they're pretending to date in front of Zane's mom for about a day, and at the mall, they end up running into Aaron, and Aaron's like, what the hell's going on? And she's like, I can't explain this. Savannah ends up inviting Aaron out to dinner with them, and so it's really awkward because Zane and Aphmau are pretending to date in front of Aaron. Aaron has to act like nothing's going on between him and Aphmau, and Garth is also there with Vlad. It's all just awkward, it's a mess. But they go to Olive Garden, and remember when I said how Michi's like Trish from Austin Alley? Well, Michi's also apparently working at Olive Garden now, and she decides, because she's still mad about the whole date thing, that she puts a love potion in Aphmau's drink to make her fall in love with Zane and to make Aaron mad. So the potion does wear off, but like during that time when she was under that love potion, it was obvious that Zane was like kind of having feelings for her a little bit, or like maybe, I'm not even sure if that was even confirmed. Either way, you could tell during this whole thing that Zane wasn't minding too much, acting like Aphmau's boyfriend. And I think that's what made Aaron very jealous. And Gaurav too. He's like, damn, my own brother got closer to her than I did. Aphmau's like, we need to tell your mom the truth, guys, because I can't keep doing this. So Zane talks to his mom after the whole thing, and he's like, I'm so sorry, mom, that I lied to you. And she's like, I'm just happy that you have a good friend, Zane. So after that whole like fake dating thing or whatever, the tensions are high with Aaron and Zane because it's obvious that Aaron wants to date Aphmau and Zane is just like, she's my best friend. So the gang all decide to go to a convention that's coming called Acon. And during this convention, Zane and Aaron actually end up having a talk about Aphmau. And basically Zane being like, I just don't want you to take her away from me, Aaron. And Aaron's like, I would never do that. He asked Zane for basically his blessing to be with Aphmau, and he's like, yeah, go for it, Aaron. And Aaron and Aphmau have a heart-to-heart in this convention center hotel, and they kiss, and they are officially dating. At the end of the last episode, they tell all their friends being like, we're dating, and everybody's like, woo! And some people are like, we saw this coming like years ago. But yes, and then they take the iconic group picture, and that is the end of season 1. That is the gist of it, basically. There is a lot of mini things in there that I could have went over. There's a lot of detail about a lot of characters in this season. I feel like the comedy in season 1 is just still so good. It's so goofy, and the bits in it are so funny. Anyways, I love season 1. A lot happens in it, and it's very silly goofy. I love the silly goofy era. Part 4, when we cover Love Paradise, will be coming out as fast as I can get it done. But that one is also pretty long, so it may be a little bit. Anyways, Live, Laugh, Love, season 1 of MyStreet. You are beloved, the love of my life. And God, if you were an anime, you would definitely be top 10. We are back as we can be. Hey squad, welcome back. It's been a minute. Welcome back to recapping all of Aphmau's MyStreet before season 7 comes out in 2025. Today, we're going to talk about MyStreet season 2, which is Love Paradise. It's actually one of my favorite seasons. So Love Paradise takes place like right after season 1, maybe like a month or two in between the end of season 1, but it's like immediately after. The whole gang is chilling at, I think Gareth and Lawrence and Zane's house. And then suddenly, Aaron and Dante come bursting in the door, and they're saying that they have to leave right now because they just won these super amazing tickets to this vacation island called Love Paradise. But the catch is, they have to leave right now. They leave in Home Alone style. But once they get to the resort, Caitlin realizes that they left Travis behind, who was apparently in the basement like the whole time this was going on. So throughout this season, the friend group and like the main cast gets expanded with like older characters coming in from like past seasons. But like the main group who were in this house and who came together are Aphmau, Aaron, Gareth, Caitlin, Zane, Kawaii-chan, Lucinda, and Dante. Some of these familiar faces are actually old ones from Phoenix Drop High, which are Tiani and Ivy. Now, I didn't talk about Ivy a lot in my Phoenix Drop High recap video because honestly, she was just the typical mean girl in high school, and she didn't really add too much to the overall plot, so I didn't really touch on her that much. And I feel bad now because she's actually really important. But yeah, she bullied Aphmau in high school, and she also didn't help with like rumors that were being spread about her in high school. But she actually ends up bumping into them on this vacation, and apparently she's had like this character growth throughout all these years. And she's like, I don't want to bully anybody anymore. And then Aphmau's like, bullshit, I don't trust you. But I guess this season is like the summer of redemption because Aphmau and Ivy actually end up building like a sandcastle together in like a sand castle competition or something, which I'm pretty sure was for kids, but it was chill. But they end up bonding during this time. They actually relate to each other in different ways. And it's really sweet. And they're like, you know what? Let's put the past behind us and let's just have a good summer. And I was like, period. So while Ivy and Aphmau are off building sandcastles and becoming better friends, I guess, Gareth is like sneaking around and he's being suspicious more than usual. And also a running bit that happens at the beginning of the season basically is Dante and Aaron will not share how they got these tickets to Love of Paradise. They're just like, we got them. So let's just enjoy it. And they're like, okay.
How did you get those?
All access passes, guys.
So a little bit later, we actually find out that Aphmau's mom and Caitlin's dad are like seeing each other, I think, but they're also on the island. But they're also not like telling them how they got the tickets either. Everyone's acting very suspicious. So Aphmau's talking to her mom, and apparently she has not told her mom yet in between season 1 and 2 that she's dating Aaron. And if you remember from Phoenix Drop High, her mom hates Aaron. Like, she goes as far as to say he's the devil. Like, she hates him. So when her mom bumps into her, she's like, oh my god, do you have a boyfriend yet? And she's like, no, I thought you didn't want me with boys, Mom. And she's like, well, I want grandbabies now. And she's like, huh? So instead of telling her mom, hey, by the way, I'm dating Aaron, because that's too easy, she tells her mom, I'm not really interested. And then her mom takes her out to like try to find, I guess, Mr. Right, and obviously it's a disaster. She ends up telling her mom like, yes, I am dating Aaron, and her mom is she loses her shit. So while all that is going on, Travis is losing his shit back at home.
So where's Dante?
I'm right here, but my name is Dan.
No, look at your script. It's right in...
Maze is really lonely, and so he ends up going a little insane. This next part, this is why I love Travis so much as a character. So apparently Caitlin has not called Travis since they've been there, and she's like, oh shit, I need to call Travis. We've been here for like a week, and this man has lost his mind back at home. Do you remember in season 1 when I talked about how Gareth and Dante bought a bunch of like feathers to like make themselves more attractive to women? Well, apparently they have exploding feathers. Travis accidentally sets the house on fire in his like manic state. I don't know what's going on with this man. And he ends up blowing up their house, and it sends him, it like impacts this man, and it shoots him all the way to Love Paradise. So Travis lands on the island, and he's like, oh shit, I'm dead. That's kind of... Travis thinks he's like in heaven because Love Paradise is apparently so beautiful. And he's like, oh my god, I'm in heaven. And then he sees his friends. He's like, oh shit, y'all dead too? Travis has a whole thing where he goes up on top of a building. And he's like, guys, I'm gonna jump because I'm dead and I can do whatever. And everybody's like, bro, you're not dead. You are alive. Anyways, Travis finds out he's alive. And now he's also on the island. Very well alive. He's not dead. Somehow. So a few days later, Aphmau and Aaron are on the beach and they're having their moment, you know, it's like cutesy or whatever. And then Dante comes in, he's like, Aaron, it's time. And he's like, oh shit. Aphmau's like confused, like, what are y'all talking about? And they're like, okay, we need to tell her how we got these tickets because they haven't told anyone since they've been here. So we cut to a flashback where basically Aaron was talking to Dante being like, I want to get these tickets for Aphmau because I want us to have a special summer together. And he's like, aw, cute. Okay, let's do this kissing competition for these tickets. And Aaron's like, no. But then Guy, the like head guy of Love Paradise, his name is Guy, he bumps into Dante, bumping into Aaron, and they kiss. And then the guy's like, oh my god, what a kiss of love, y'all win. Of course they freak out and they're like, oh my god, that was not what I wanted to happen. But then also Caitlin's dad and Aphmau's mom were also apparently there trying to win the tickets. Remember when they were like, they didn't say how they won the tickets either? Apparently Caitlin's dad really wanted to get these tickets, so he ended up smooching Dante too. And then the guy was like, okay, period. What a kiss of love. We'll go with it. Y'all win too. But then remember, Aphmau's mom is also there. She somehow got a ticket. You know how she got a ticket? She was like, don't worry, Eric. And she went and she kissed Tiani. And then he was like, oh, kiss of love. You win too. Tickets for everybody. So they end up finding out the second of their winning these tickets thing is they actually get to have a scavenger hunt on the island. And whoever wins gets these like really cool tour around the island tickets, and they can bring whoever. Dante's actually the one that ends up finding the tickets, and then he's like, okay, I have these tickets, and so now I'm gonna find a girl to go out on a date with me. But for some reason, man is striking out. He cannot find a date on this island. So we have a whole episode of how Dante got his groove back, which is basically him trying to scout girls again because he's lost his touch since high school. Man's a player and he don't know what he wants. That's it. That's what's happening. He actually ends up meeting this girl named Jenna, who's a nail tech at the nail salon there on the island, and she helps him and they talk, and it's actually really sweet. And there's obvious a little oh, something going on there. Okay, maybe it's her. So Caitlin and Travis right now, I think, are not dating. Not set. They're kind of seeing each other, but they're not official. But basically, Travis really wants to ask Caitlin out on a date again. Remember when he wanted to do a double date for Valentine's Day in season 1? Well, he basically wants to do that again, except here on Love Paradise.
So how are things going with Caitlin, huh? You better not screw it up.
So he ends up asking Gareth, hey, can you get a date? And then we can do a double date. Gareth's date actually ends up being Ivy. And it's kind of interesting because Ivy, first off, used to say his name wrong. She called him...
Just know that Gareth Romave is off limits.
Which is so funny. And that gave Gareth literal nightmares. But yeah, he's not super fond of her when he first bumps into her again on the island.
You know, from high school?
Oh, Irene, no. It can't be. It's impossible. No!
But I think during this double date, they get to bond, and Caitlin and Travis get to bond. Aaron and Aphmau kind of get to bond. They were supposed to be also on their own date, but then they ended up becoming the waiters for their date. It was a mess. I feel like Love Paradise is definitely it lives up to its name this season, because this season is very heavily focused on the relationships within the group, not just Aaron and Aphmau, which I love because we get to see a bunch of different dynamics. But anyways, enough of that. So they end up going to the water park on the island, and Zane, while going down a water slide, loses his pants. They get him another pair. He's fine, but he is butt naked for a few minutes there. But if you remember all the way back in, I want to say Falcon Claw University, we actually find out for the first time that Aphmau cannot swim. And she has gone this whole time without telling anyone that she cannot swim. And she's at a water park. And for some reason, she just cannot tell people that she's scared to swim and she's scared of the water. Aphmau actually ends up telling Zane, hey, I can't swim. And he's like, why the hell are you at a water park then? And she's like, I don't know. For Aaron, he's having fun and I don't want to tell him and ruin his vibe. So they're all up on this really tall water slide. And Zane's like, hey, I checked. This one goes straight into a really small pool. We'll be fine. And she was like, okay, lit. And then she went down. And then the guy is like, hey, be careful, you're gonna go in the ocean. And Zane's like, what? So Zane tells Aaron, hey, she can't swim. And so Aaron goes down and saves her. So Aphmau almost drowns again because she won't tell people when she needs help. So Aphmau's fine. She doesn't drown. Aaron saves her and it's all chill. But he's like, you need to tell me stuff. And she's like, I know, I'm sorry. And he actually ends up giving her swim lessons. And it's so sweet. So remember when I said Gareth was also keeping a secret and being more suspicious than usual? Well, apparently this whole time he's been taking hula dancing lessons. Aphmau, Aaron, and Dante actually find out by following him to see where he's been going, and they see him and they find out that his hula lessons are actually being canceled because not enough people are taking classes. But then the bros, Aaron and Dante, they're such bros, they come and save the day and they're like, hey, we'll be the other students and they can teach us too, so you can still go. And I'm like, I love them. They're so cutie patootie. So Gareth, Aaron, and Dante are now taking hula lessons together. That is in canon. So remember when I said Dante was seeing this girl, Jenna? I think I called her a nail tech earlier. I meant to call her a hairdresser. So basically, do you remember in season 1 when Dante was actually seeing Nicole? Well, apparently before the summer started, he was gonna break up with Nicole, but when he went to go break up with her, she said that she loved him and he didn't know what to say, and so he said, yeah, same. And then he came to this island and she's not on. So while on the island, Dante has been seeing Jenna, and then suddenly one day, Nicole shows up and he's like, oh shit. He's going back and forth. He doesn't know how to tell who's who. He's in a really awkward situation, but obviously Nicole finds out and she's like, who the fuck is that? She don't play no games. So she's like, huh? And he's like, listen, Nicole, I should have told you this a long time ago, we need to break up.
Talking about the calm and cool Dante. Ah!
What is it? Is there something going on?
No.
And she's like, damn. Because Dante apparently is not trying to be the player dating multiple girls at once guy like he was in high school. Yes, what he did was wrong, obviously. He's trying to redeem himself. This is the summer of redemption, so he's trying to do it. And again, remember when I said this is the summer of redemption? Well, guess who shows up? Jean! Aphmau's mom is still stuck on this, like, you're not gonna date Aaron. It's not gonna be him. And she's like, oh my god. And so she ends up tracking down Jean, because apparently Jean's also on the island too. And she's like, why don't you date him? And Aphmau's like, cause he bullied me in high school? And she's like, that was the past. Aphmau and Jean have a heart-to-heart, and she's like, hey, I don't trust you fully, but you know what? I'm gonna just, like, feel you out for a bit. And that's basically what she does. She basically, like, tests him and, like, to see if he's, like, actually changed. And he has, because this is the summer of what? Redemption! So Jean actually ends up going with them on the cruise back home. And Aphmau and Aaron are trying really hard to have alone time, because a running thing throughout this whole season was Aaron got these tickets so he could have a special alone time with Aph. And he didn't really get to do that. Like, yeah, they got to spend time together or whatever here and there through, like, I guess their chaotic ways. But he wanted to spend, like, alone time with her. And he's trying to do that on the cruise back home. But now Jean is there. And Jean's, like, low-key trying to rizz up his girl. And he's like, what's going on? But, of course, they get their special little moment. And they actually, this is the first time Aaron and Aphmau say, I love you to each other. And it's super sweet. And I'm like, ah! I also, like, completely forgot, I'm editing, hello. I also completely forgot that, like, he asks her to move in with him. Because, like, that sets up for season 3 for Lover's Lane. I completely forgot about that plot point. I'm so sorry. But yes, she accepts. But yeah, they say I love you, and they're moving in together when they get back. Also on the cruise back home, Lawrence calls Garth and is like, hey man, heading back into town. Are you guys almost home? Because he's apparently been out of town this whole time. That's why he wasn't here with them. And Garth's like, yeah, we'll see you then. I'm like, oh, okay. Because remember, Travis hasn't told them that their house is blown up yet. So that's something they're gonna just deal with, I guess, in season 3. One sad note, though, about the summer is that Travis and Caitlin actually decide to call off their, like, will they, won't they relationship right now for a bit. Because Caitlin claims that she's just not feeling like she should with him yet. And I think that's healthy for them to, like, communicate that. But I was a little sad. I was like, damn. But that is really it. That is the basic recap of MyStreet Season 2 Love Love Paradise. Love Love Paradise is a very kind of quick, more cheesy, more silly, goofy times. So there wasn't, like, a ton that was, like, adding to the overall arching plot of MyStreet. It's a fun, feel-good, summer romance type of, like, show this season, which I love. It's like season 1. Season 1 lays out a lot of foundations for the characters, but I feel like season 2 is just a little more goofy. It kind of expands into their love relationships more, which I enjoy. I have a very special place in my heart for Love Love Paradise because I remember when it was announced that they were making a season 2 of MyStreet, and I was so excited. Like, I remember refreshing my YouTube page all day waiting for that first episode to come out. I was so excited. MyStreet Season 3, Lover's Lane, will be coming out as soon as I can get it done. This recap series has been so much fun to do and so much fun to make. There's something so wholesome about bonding over these Minecraft characters, and I love it. I love it so much, and if you love it too, like the video.
Happy New Year! I'm sick. 2025 is supposed to be my year, right? I know everybody has been saying that. Everybody says it every year. But I was like, this year, it's gonna be the one. It's only up from here. And it's starting off so rough. But welcome back to recapping all of Aphmau's MyStreet before season 7 drops this year in 2025. I apologize for my rough, sick voice in this video, but we're gonna get through it. Before we start, I have something to rant about. Not really, but I have a question for the audience. There's something I want to do now. In my sickness state, I stumbled upon on TikTok this video of like the Aphmau booth at VidCon, and they have like the workers in there, and I was like, oh my god, that would be so cool to be one of the workers in like that booth. You get to like look at all the merch and kind of make it like kind of magical for like the younger viewers. And I was like, oh, this would be so cute. But then I saw someone dressed in the mascot. It wasn't that funny, but like I saw someone dressed up in like the mascot cat, and I was like, please, how do I get that job? If they need someone to be the mascot, hey, I have a resume. Totally down. Be the mascot for your VidCon booth if you ever need that again. Anyways, we're gonna get into it. Welcome back. We're talking about season 3 of MyStreet, which is titled Lover's Lane. Lover's Lane takes place right after season 2, so after they get back. But actually, before I jump the gun a little bit, there's actually a mini prequel series in between season 2 and season 3. It's called The Even Bigger Move. It kind of followed like exactly what happened in The Big Move, like the original, except it had its own like twists. And they also went to Olive Garden, like, again. So we're gonna cover The Bigger Move first, and then we're gonna go into Lover's Lane season 3. So the gang has returned from Love Paradise. They've been there all summer. How did they afford that? Because they all had jobs, and they still all had to pay, like, rent and stuff. It's whatever. It's not a big deal. They all get back to their neighborhood that they all live on. They're like, okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna go back to work now. And then other people are like, I guess I'll go get a job. And then as they're, like, preparing to go back into their houses, we cut to the mayor, who has apparently decided that he's gonna blow up their neighborhood. So, backtrack, hold on. So if you remember in Love Paradise, Travis, how he got to Love Paradise is he went like insane and he blew up him, Gareth, Lawrence, and Dante, like all their house. And so their house has like been exploded. Their house has been gone. And he was been in Love Paradise the whole time. And he never told them what happened. So he never told them what happened. And so he's like, oh shit. They're gonna find out that our house has exploded. What am I supposed to do? But luckily for him, the mayor basically beat him to it because...
And welcome, demolition crew. Today we are here to say goodbye to this neighborhood. As you all know, we've been hard at work all summer due to the mysterious disappearance of its residents.
Instead of, like, figuring out who those people were, maybe having an investigation, I don't know, just anything, he's like, no, we're gonna blow up their house and we're gonna build a puppy hospital. So the mayor drops a bomb, a nuke on MyStreet, and all of the houses from season 1 are destroyed. Like, all at once. And it's so sad. And they're sitting there like, what do we do? So the mayor puts them in, like, this really fancy hotel room for a while. But it's, like, all of them. I think there's, like, I don't remember how many, like, 10 of them maybe. There's a lot of them. They're all shoved in this huge hotel room. And he's like, I'll let y'all live here as long as you need to until you can, like, find your own place. And they're like, well, okay. So these first 5 episodes with The Bigger Move are basically the gang trying to find some type of neighborhood or just somewhere for all of them to live again, because all of them are kind of homeless right now. And also some of them don't have jobs after the summer. So some of them are also like out trying to find a job. And one of those is Gareth. He's like, doesn't have a job. One interesting thing throughout this season and also just like this mini series is it kind of sets up little bits about the family members of these characters, specifically like Gareth's family and Aaron's family. So while Gareth and like Zane and everyone else is trying to find a house to live in, Gareth's father's kind of calling him being like, hey, so I know you're getting older, like it's time for you to step up and like become head of my company. And he's like, oh, I don't want to do that. Gareth in this mini series is like, I want to get a job on my own because like everything I've ever had has been handed to me. like my house, my job, my good looks, everything. So there is one night where I think it's Gareth, Zane, Aaron, and Aphmau. They get invited by Gareth and Zane's mother to come out to eat with them to Olive Garden. We find out it's kind of like a business meeting, and she wants Gareth and Zane to meet this girl from this other company, and so they're like, ugh, whatever. And so they all go to Olive Garden, and for some reason Aphmau and Aaron are there, even though this is like a business meeting, but I guess their mother wants it to be like casual. I don't know. It doesn't matter, because we actually find out that the girl they're meeting is Aaron's sister. Aaron's sister is named Melissa, and I don't think we've seen her up to this point. I think this is her first, I don't think we've seen her ever. And so this is the first time we're seeing her in the series. However, if you've been keeping up until this point, you know that Aaron hasn't really been keeping in contact with his family since college. And it's been like a few seasons since college. It means he hasn't seen his sister in who knows how long. Who knows? So it's a mess. So it's a little bit awkward because she's also his older sister. He's the younger brother. So she's like, hello, brother. And he's like, hey, Melissa. He tells Melissa that Aphmau is his girlfriend, and it actually surprisingly goes really well. They're both really nervous about it, but it goes really well. And she says, like, hopefully I'll see you around. He's like, I guess. We know kind of that Aaron's family, they have a very big company, but they do like mostly like media stuff. And then like Gareth's family, they're also loaded. They also have a big family like business, and they do media stuff, but they also do like residential stuff, I'm pretty sure. They don't get too specific in the show. I think that's so they can bend it at will when it's needed for the plot, which I appreciate because we're about to see it happen for the plot. So remember when I said they were all homeless? Well, Gareth tells his mom, like, yeah, we're all still living in a hotel room. And she's like, what? Why didn't you tell me? Like, we have an open neighborhood over here that we could like rent out or something, and all you guys can just like pick a house and live next to each other again like old times. And everyone's like, yeah. Gareth, this is also the same dude who was just saying 2 episodes ago, everything's always been handed to me, and now he's getting handed a house. I mean, it's fine. It moves the plot along. It sets up season 3, and now they're on a whole new street that Gareth's family bought for them. So huzzah! Okay, so we're officially in season 3, Lover's Lane. Everybody's on the new street. People are paired differently this season. Heyitsnan and Caitlin still live together, but Aphmau does not live with them. She actually lives with Aaron in their own house. Gareth, Lawrence, and Zane all live together right now temporarily because Zane doesn't have enough money to live on his own. Travis and Dante live together. Lucinda lives on her own, and I can't remember who else lives on the street, but that's the main people. This cast is so big, sometimes I can't keep up with them. I'll be for real. I will say season 3 is like the end of an era. It is the end. It marks the end of the silly, goofy era that we have been in since season 1. I will say something about this season. Season 3 is like peak slice of life because nothing happens except till like near the end. Nothing. Things happen, like too much of just whatever happens, but like nothing to like really move the plot along happens. There's a lot of silly, goofy moments. There's a lot of like different character dynamics, but there's like, when I tell you, there is like 2 plot points, maybe 3, because after we get over the hump of being homeless, see, I say all this now, but once we get to season 4, I'm gonna be wishing it was like more silly, because season 4 is rough. I'm gonna go over the main 2 overarching plots for this season, because if I went episode by episode, we'd be here for hours, me telling you about shit that don't even matter. And then after that, we'll get into some of my personal favorite episodes, because there is a few. I did enjoy a few episodes here and there. I had some really long cackles with the season. So as you know, that a lot of them don't have jobs, but you know who do still have their jobs? Aphmau and Kawaii-chan. If you remember from season 1 of MyStreet, they both actually worked part-time at a maid cafe in the city. I guess they were able to take such a long break from there, but when they both get back in season 3, they're both still working part-time, and Kawaii-chan is actually like the best waitress there. Like, they all say it, like, oh my god, she's great at her job. However, she can easily get like distracted and cause some issues. Basically, one day the boss lady has had enough and she straight up fires Kawaii-chan, and she's like, oh my god, like that was like the best job I've ever had. Like, what else am I gonna do? So Kawaii-chan's fired, but Aphmau still works there. And then a few episodes later, Kawaii-chan kind of comes to Aphmau's house and she's in tears. She's like, I have been trying so hard to get another job, but like no one takes me seriously. And even though she got lessons from Zane in one of the episodes about being more serious, it still wasn't enough, and she still can't find another job. Aphmau basically is like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to the boss lady, and I'm gonna see if she's in a good mood, if you can like reapply for the job again, because like we do need the help. So she goes and talks to her boss, and basically when she brings up Kawaii-chan, her boss gets really awful and talks really awful about Kawaii-chan to her. Aphmau's her friend, so it's like, girl, what are you doing? This causes Aphmau to quit on the spot, and she goes home, and she's like, Kawaii-chan, we're gonna open up our own maid cafe. And Kawaii-chan's like, period, queen, let's do it. And without any like thought or preparation or sudden things, they're just suddenly like, yeah, let's open a maid cafe. It's not like they have a whole new house payment to pay. Like, they all have new houses. Like, you would, what? Where is this money coming from? So the maid cafe, they open it. It's a huge success. It's just a little local maid cafe, but a lot of people love it. They have to hire more help. And so guess who they hire? Gene. Like, I love Gene. So when he came back, I was like, period, my king. He just keeps coming back. And then he's also like weirdly flirting with Aphmau, and like he kind of tones it back, but then he brings it back again. Like, I don't understand his like goal, if I'm being so honest with you. Anyway, Gene coming into the picture and like helping out with the maid cafe kind of puts Zane into a spiral, and he starts being like, I'm actually Aphmau's best friend. And Gene's like, okay, I don't know why you're so clingy to her. And he's like, I'm not clingy, you're just weird and you don't deserve her friendship. And he's like, okay, dude. The rise and fall of the maid cafe is a really big part of the season, and it's definitely something that also drives kind of a bad point in Aphmau and Aaron's relationship. So during the season, Aphmau's getting more and more busier with the maid cafe, and Zane is also like kind of her business partner because he knows a lot about it because of his family. And so he's telling her like, hey, like, why don't we expand basically and become bigger? And she's like, originally she didn't want to, but because of all of the success, I think it's kind of been like, well, maybe we should. And he's kind of like, okay, I'll do the preparations. And Aaron honestly has just been kind of left on his own for a lot of the time. Aaron's been very supportive about the maid cafe through the whole season. Let me get that very clear. He's been very supportive. I think like he just really he thought this was gonna be like kind of just a local maid cafe, and she's suddenly like changing her mind about it becoming bigger, and I think he's just a little like nervous about that sudden change and how fast she's changing her mind. And I think he's also worried that like other people are telling stuff in her ear to like make her make that decision. He also just misses her. Like, he doesn't really get to see her as much anymore, even though they live together. So he kind of tries to like talk this out with her, and she's like, I don't understand like why you're so upset. Like, I just don't get it. And he's like, I don't know. So they have their first like couple fight. The tensions are weird. We don't really know Gene's intentions, but like he's trying to tell Aaron like, I think it's weird that Zane's all over her at the same time this is going on, and Aaron's like, Gene, shut the fuck up. It's low-key a mess. And so while all this is going on throughout the season too, Lucinda has been kind of dealing with an ex-boyfriend of hers. I'm only bringing him up now because he's relevant now. Here and there he's been kind of like digging at her and her friends just to like get back in her life. He's just one of those assholes. What was his name? Ivan? Ivan, was that his name? I don't even remember. Anyways, Ivan, to get back at Lucinda, decides that he's gonna throw in like a cat potion into the maid cafe, and so all of the cats cause a huge havoc while nobody's there, and it causes a fire, and the maid cafe goes up in flames. Aphmau, devastated by this, and also devastated and frustrated with Aaron still, she turns to Aaron and she's like, "Did you do this?" And he's like, "What? No, you think I would like destroy your business?" And she's like, "I don't know like who to trust right now." And he's like, "But what?" So after that, they have another huge fight, and they decide that they're gonna take a break. They've been dating for barely 2 seasons. So Aaron and Aphmau are on a break, as they say. And Aphmau is currently in the house while Aaron's like spending some time with his family and like getting more into the family business with his sister Melissa. During this time, while she's like by herself, Zane is actually the one like comforting her, but him and her actually end up having like a one-on-one talk about like his clinginess towards her, and basically being like she thinks that she needs her own space from him, because this season he was like all over her, especially with like the business and like all his like best friend rivals and all this other stuff. Like he was like all over her more than usual, especially more than season 1. I think that conversation was needed for like a lot of character growth, and I'm glad they had it. It ended really well, but they decided to also like take some type of like break. So it's a mess. Aphmau's mom actually ends up saving the day. Her and Garth's mom, because they're amazing. They actually come and like ask Aphmau what's wrong. They see that apparently Aaron blocked Aphmau's number, and they're like, he would never do that. And so they decide to go ask Aaron himself, like, "Why'd you block my daughter's number? Like, what?" And so they go to where they know he's staying, which is at his family's house, and his mom answers the door, and she's like, "Oh shit, hello, Aaron's mom, can I speak to Aaron?" And she's like, "No, who are you?" And she's like, "I'm Aphmau's mom. Who are you?" And she's like, "I'm the owner of this house." We find out that Aaron's mom this whole season has been wanting Aaron to come back into the family business. She's basically been wanting her son to come home. He's been gone for so long, and she thinks that with his girlfriend and all of his friends, like if he didn't have those anymore, that he would want to be part of the family and come home. And so she also has been sending Melissa over there as well to basically like bait him into coming home for different reasons. And of course it hasn't really been working, and so she decided like, you know what, if him and his girlfriend are on a break, then I'm just gonna block her. And so apparently she got a hold of Aaron's phone and blocked Aphmau when he wasn't looking. I don't know when he did that. Why has he not like checked? I don't know. To wrap it up though, Aphmau's mom and Garth's mom go to Aaron and are like, they actually break into their house. They kind of break into the house. They tell Aaron like, "Hey, you blocked her. Text back my daughter, bitch." And he's like, "Okay, period." Aphmau and Aaron end up meeting and also rekindling their relationship in the music room. They first met kind of in the old high school, Phoenix Drop High. If you know, you know. It was also apparently Phoenix Drop High is like run down. Nobody goes there anymore. And I was like, damn, that's really fucking sad. This right here is like top 5 Aphmau full circle moments for me. I love a good full circle moment when they came back and had the whole thing in the school. It's a gorgeous scene. It made me cry. It was so sweet. And of course, they make up. They go home. She makes up with Zane. Everyone makes up. They have a little like ending party, and that's the season. It's pretty straightforward. It's the end of the silly goofy era. It was fun. I did cry at the end. But if there is one thing this season does prove, it is that they're all victims of the Nepo baby claim. I fear they're all Nepo babies, because there's no way they like didn't go to their jobs all summer, so like almost 2-3ish months. They had all their houses destroyed, bought a whole new neighborhood for all of them to live in, and then they also opened up a brand new business with a building and everything, and it also got destroyed on like the same, like what? Who knows? Like 4 months? Like what? Some of my favorite one-offs in this season, I have to name them because there was a lot of good ones. There was one episode fully dedicated to Mystic Messenger, which I think is so funny. It's called Cheating on Aaron. Another really good one was Lawrence's baby brother. That one was hilarious. That's a great one. Going Viral. That's a good one. It's this one with Travis on it, and it's the most stereotypical thumbnail I've ever seen. I do like the grand opening episode. I like the thumbnail for that one. It's a slice of life. It's funny, it's goofy, it's silly, and I enjoyed it for what we had of that era left. So this wasn't a very like typical going into too much detail about it, but I hope you still enjoyed, because again, remember, it's just a small part of a way bigger story that we're gonna get into in season 4, 5, and 6, which are going to be doozies to get through. And I'm saying doozies. But thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year. I'm so excited for this year. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Also, if you know how to get that job or where to send in my resume, email me. I'll leave it in the description.
Guys, I know, I saw the VidCon news. I should have been there. It should have been me. Finally, we are back and better than ever. And I'm not sick for once recording this. Hello and welcome back to recapping all of Aphmau's MyStreet before season 7 drops in 2025, which apparently is now a 2-parter. So season 7 and season 8. If you haven't been keeping up with the Aphmau news, you may have missed that at VidCon, she announced that not only is One Last Time going to be a 2-parter season, which one will be coming out later this fall, which means I gotta hurry the F up with these recaps, and then the next part will be coming out sometime next year. My guess is probably like in the summer, but we don't know yet. And then also Minor Demons got confirmed a season 2, Diaries plans perhaps in the works. A lot's happening. A lot is brewing behind the scenes. So today we're gonna get back to it on our recap. We got a doozy this time. We're recapping all of Emerald Secret, which is the official season 4 of MyStreet. This season is where shit starts going down really fast. It just snowballs into issues that don't stop until and actually it never stops, because it causes like the bigger and bigger and bigger conflict that happens in season 6. So it's a constant snowball of things, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. So we are in for a bad time. So ladies and gentlemen, strap in. I'm gonna do my best to recap Emerald Secret for you, because it is a doozy. We open up to Aaron, Gareth, Kim, and Lucinda arriving in an old cabin in the snowy woods. Now, apparently, Aaron and Gareth's family sent them there to basically fix up this old cabin, make it all nice and clean, and I assume for like business purposes, and they said they could bring some friends along. So they brought Kim and Lucinda. So Kim, we don't know Kim. She's new. She started appearing between season 3 and season 4, and she started appearing in these MyStreet side stories that happened. She went to Phoenix Drop High with all of them, but none of them really knew her until Girly had a glow up in her 20s, and Lawrence was like, oh, I'm trying to like boo her up. And so her and Lawrence were seeing each other for a bit, but then Gareth came in and like bestied her up, and so now they're like besties. And so Gareth, I think her and Gareth are also like a ship now. Oh my god, this keeps happening to Lawrence and Gareth, where they like the same girl and they can't do this twice now. They're doomed from the start. It's so sad. It's either Aphmau or it's Kim. Anyway, it doesn't really matter though, because Lawrence does disappear this season. Anyways, back to the story. So they're there, they're at the cabin, they can't get the door open. Gareth tries to call his parents like, hey, I can get the door open, but there's no service out there. Of course, how convenient. So they decide to go check out like the boiler to try to figure out, or like, I think that was the boiler, I don't know, but somewhere to basically try to figure out how to get the door open. And so they get down there, they make a huge mess of it, and then when something explodes, this like green gem comes out, and no one knows what it is, but Aaron puts it in his pocket for safekeeping. This will be important later. So while all that is going down, back on MyStreet, Aphmau and Zane are there, but then Malachi and Levi, their versions of themselves in this timeline, come up to the door, and they're like, hey, can we speak to Aaron? And Aphmau's like, he's not here. And so Zane pretends to be Aaron. Apparently, Levi and Malachi are like, hey, so that cabin, something's wrong with it. Like, seriously. And they were like, what do you mean? And it's like hinted that the cabin is haunted. It's not a safe place for them to be at. So Aphmau becomes extremely worried for her friends and for Aaron. And so she's like, we have to get up there now. So Zane calls his mom asking if they can borrow her car. She says yes, and her and Zane are on their way up to the cabin as well. So back at the cabin, a pack of werewolves breaks into the cabin. And like with them is a human, or at least looks like a human, but is a werewolf. And it comes off as she's like their leader. They don't harm anything. It looks like they're looking for something, but they don't find it. And so they leave without harming any of our people. However, it is very scary. And everyone is really freaked out. So they decide to board up the windows, board up the doors, and sleep all together in the living room for the night because they also haven't really explored the whole cabin yet, they said. In my opinion, I would have left after the first incident, but no. Apparently we're staying. After the night of them all sleeping together in the same area in the living room, they wake up and Kim is missing. Like, she's just disappeared. And everybody's like, so where'd Kim go? In my opinion, they were like way too calm. Like they were like, oh, Kim's missing. Let's just look around. And after they look around the whole house, they're like, she's fine. She's probably somewhere around here. I'm like, bro, what? Why are we not more panicked? So Kim's missing. And while Kim's missing, Zane and Aphmau finally get up to the cabin. It's been a long drive for them. Zane really has to pee. So he like bust in to find a bathroom. So Zane runs off to find a bathroom. Aaron and Aphmau hug, and he's like, oh my god, babe, I missed you so much. She's like, oh my god, I missed you too. I haven't seen you for like 3 days. And then Zane's looking for a bathroom, and he doesn't know the layout of this cabin. He's never been here before. So he just runs to a random room, and then the door closes behind him, and he's like, what the heck? And Kim's there. And he's like, oh shit. Hey, Kim, what you doing? And Kim's acting real funny. She's acting very different. Well, first off, she tries to kiss Zane because she's like coming off as obsessed and in love with him. But after this, we find out that Kim has been possessed by a ghost. Possessed by a ghost. This girl just got into the squad. So the ghost, for some reason, is like in love with Zane. We're not sure exactly why yet. So there's like moments where Kim will just be herself, but then when Zane is around, she'll kind of get really possessive and creepy, and that's Ghost, not Kim. But it's very uncomfortable. Kim's possessed by a ghost. Lucinda's trying to like figure out how to unpossess her, but it's really hard to because she didn't bring like her magic and her potion bag with her. But here's the thing, right? They don't leave still. They're like, oh, Kim's possessed? That's not too bad. Let's continue cleaning up the place. Might as well. We'll just keep an eye on her. Why didn't they just leave? I feel like that's a reason to go back and get Lucinda's potion bag. You would think, but no. Instead of solving the issue early and just going back home, they stay at this cabin. That's strike 2. So a few days have passed. Kim's still recovering, but squad literally has like no food in the house. They don't have no power there. So like, okay, we have to go get stuff to make food. So Aaron, Aphmau, Lucinda, and Kim decide to get out of the house, and they drive down to the nearest town, which is not too far from the cabin, but it's a really, really small town. Like, there's nobody there. They get to like the one and only store in the town to get some supplies, and the guy's telling them how there's a very heavy winter storm coming through. But guess who we find out also works at this store? Conveniently, Michi! At the store, Aphmau and Kim ask the store clerk, like, hey, do you know anything about this mysterious wolf girl we saw? And he's like, oh yeah, she's like weird. Like, she's one with the wolves or whatever. And she's actually the reason that so many people who used to live here don't live here or like don't go out there anymore, because they like attack people at night. And they're like, oh my god. So she's crazy, is what they're all thinking. But back at the cabin, Garth and Zane are there just kind of chilling, trying to listen to the radio. But then they think someone break in. So Zane stays behind hiding while Garth goes to see what's up. Garth is trying to figure out like who broke in, if it was the wolves again, if it was the wolf girl again. So he's downstairs looking for that. And Zane is like, you know what? I don't know what the hell Garth's doing, but I'm gonna go figure it out. So Zane goes out, from hiding. And he's looking around. He's probably like, Gareth, where you at? And then he walks into this room, and this very suspicious looking figure, shadow person, growls at him and like knocks him out. We don't really know. It goes black, but it's a very like, uh-oh. Back at the store, Michi's like, hey dude, a huge storm is coming. We need to hurry up and like get the shop ready because it's coming through. And so the squad's like, oh shoot, let's get a bunch of stuff and let's hurry out of here. They get their stuff. She's pissed because she wanted to cause havoc, and so she leaves mad. But then she runs into like a shadowy figure, and she's like, oh, you. And we're like, who? Like, we can't tell who it is. So squad gets back to the cabin, and they find Garth, and they're like, hey Garth, what's going on? And Garth's like, have y'all seen Zane? And he's like, no, where he was with you. And so Zane is now missing, and they're like, oh my god, we can't, there's always one person not here. Lucinda ends up using a little bit of her magic to create like where she can find footsteps of where a certain person was. And so they follow these like green footsteps of where Zane was, and it leads them to a wall, and they're like, what? And then they find a lever that opens the wall. It's like some Scooby-Doo shit. Opens the lever to this wall, and it leads them into like an underground cave under the cabin. And it's like what? Keep in mind, we're like maybe 6 episodes deep, 5-6 episodes deep into the series, and you're just coming off of like, if you're watching this in order, you're just coming off of like MyStreet season 3, which is so chill. This feels straight up like just a random Scooby-Doo Halloween episode. So squad goes down and searches the cave, but this cave actually goes into 2 ways. And so they decide to split up and look for Zane both ways. Aphmau and Aaron go one way, Lucinda, Gareth, and Kim go the other. With Aphmau and Aaron, they find a cave of like bunk beds and first aid kits, and they're like in an area of the cave with a bunch of those green gems we saw earlier, like the one in Aaron's pocket. And so they're like really confused, don't understand why. On the other side of the cave, Lucinda, Gareth, and Kim, they find like a person's brewing station of potions, but it's like all of the potions are not made. They're like halfway made, and it's like a mess in there. So Lucinda's like really confused. But both of them end up meeting again in the middle, finding out that both directions actually connect and go out into the woods. However, they find all this, but they don't find Zane, so they decide to head back up. But before they do, Aaron actually gets distracted, and he hears like a small wolf pup outside in the woods crying because I think like his leg or something was broken. And so Aaron, without hesitation, goes up to the wolf pup and like rips a part of his jacket and gives it to the wolf pup. And then in the distance, we see that wolf girl from before who broke into the cabin watching all of this go down. So they're back in the cabin. Everyone's really worried about Zane. And so Aaron's like, you know what? I'm gonna be the man here, and I'm gonna cook us all dinner to make everybody feel better. I'm gonna cook. And so while he's cooking, Aphmau's like, you know what? I'm gonna just go look around the cabin one more time just to be safe. And so she goes upstairs in the cabin somewhere. And then Michi, remember her? She comes up outside of the cabin, and she has like this green potion in her hand, and she's like, I'm about to do something sneaky. And so she uses the potion, and it makes her look exactly like Aphmau. And so she goes into the cabin, she tricks Aaron and makes him follow her all the way out into the woods, being like, I think I found Zane, pretending to be Aphmau. And he follows her, like, because he thinks it's the love of his life. And while that's happening, Garth's like outside shoveling snow out of the driveway, and guess who pulls up? Zane! But here's the twist. It's not Zane. It's Zane with green eyes. It's not Zane. Well, it is Zane, but he's like under some type of potion because A, his eyes are green, and B, he doesn't remember who Garth is. He has no idea. So he's like, who are you? Like, you're not my brother. He knows everybody else, but he doesn't know Garth. So everybody's freaking out. Back outside, Michi, the Aphmau clone, that is Michi, is taking Aaron in like circles around the woods and just getting him lost. And he's like, I don't know where we are, like I don't know what we're doing. And she's like claiming that she thinks she saw Zane go this way or that way. And then he finally goes, Aphmau, like, I don't know what you're doing, but we're just getting more lost. But then he ends up tackling her because she says something really odd, and the potion wears off, and he sees that it's Michi, and he's like, Michi, what the hell are you doing? But then Michi's like confused. She's like, what was I doing? I wasn't, like, she was saying and hinting that she wasn't doing that on purpose. Like, she couldn't control herself using the potion and pretending to be Aphmau. So, but before she could really, like, explain that to Aaron, she leaves. And he's just lost. But then back at the lodge, Aphmau realized that Aaron was missing, so she went out to look for him. They find each other in the middle of the woods. Both are freezing because the storm is starting to pick up, and so they decide to find a cave somewhere where both of them could kind of take a moment to warm up a little bit before they head back. It just gives so much Until Dawn vibes. Aaron and Aphmau right now are pulling like a Hannah and Beth Washington, and we all know how that ended. Let's not do that again. So Aaron and Aphmau are out in a cave, freezing, and they're getting hypothermia. They're gonna die. And Aaron ended up giving Aphmau his jacket, so he's freezing even more. And so he's not really responsive. She freaks out, and so she goes into the woods to try to get wood to make a fire to help him. But, you know, she's also kind of dying of hypothermia, and so she passes out, and then the wolf girl comes and saves both of them, making a fire and keeping them warm. Keeping Aaron a little more warm than her, which I think is a little like, girl, what you doing? But whatever. Back at the cabin, everyone's like, oh shoot, Aaron and Aphmau are missing. We gotta figure out what the hell's going on. So Lucinda decides to go back down and look in the caves a little more, specifically where like that potion brewing station was. And so she starts looking at all these books, and she's like, oh shoot, someone's been down here doing illegal potion making, which apparently in this universe includes making forever potions with emeralds, which basically is in the name, making potions that last forever and have very negative effects that are very, very dangerous. So Lucinda's like, oh shit, I need to get this all together and bring this back to the lodge. But before she can do it, that shadowy figure again comes back and knocks her out and like puts her in like some type of cage in another cave somewhere. It's crazy. So back in another cave where Aphmau and Aaron are with that wolf girl, Aaron finally wakes up. The wolf girl has saved them from not dying of hypothermia, but she tells Aaron and Aphmau they need to get out of there because her alpha is coming and the alpha doesn't like them. So they run and they go back to the cave that connects under the cabin. And when they get there, they find Lucinda in that cage. And they're like, oh my God, Lucinda, what the hell's going on? And she's like, guys, there's something crazy happening here. Like, I'm pretty sure Zane is getting potioned. There's someone here who's using potions. Like, y'all gotta get out of here. And so they're freaking out like, oh my God, we can't leave you. But they leave her anyway because they gotta go get back up. So staying with Lucinda, a few wolves end up coming with the shadowy figure in there, and they drop a bag of emeralds. The figure uses one of the emeralds in his bag to make a potion, and then he potions Lucinda. So I fear we are down 2 people. So back in the cabin, Aphmau asks Zane about what happened when he got lost. He tells her like he was in the woods with his brother, which is kind of strange because Gareth was there with them, but he keeps mentioning his brother. Aaron goes back to the passageway, the secret one they found earlier, but it's blocked off with like concrete all of a sudden. So he's like, what is going on? Zane is like, hey Aphmau, you need to calm down. So he goes and he gets her some water. And as Aphmau's waiting on him, Lucinda returns to the cabin, but her eyes are now green. She's gone. She tells Aphmau like, yeah, I got lost in the woods with my brother, but I'm back now. And they're like, you were just in a cage. And she's like, no, I wasn't. I don't know what y'all are talking about. So also with all of this, Zane and Lucinda being potioned and everyone still being very confused what's going on, Kim is also acting weird, but not because of the potion, because a ghost is possessing her and unpossessing her. Like, there's a lot to unpack there, but we don't have time. So back with Lucinda. Lucinda's gaslighting Aphmau like, I was never trapped in a cage. I don't know what you're talking about. But she goes outside saying that the storm has died down. Aphmau follows her. When they get outside, Lucinda and Zane, when they see each other, both of their green eyes just like flash, and they're suddenly both asking for Aphmau to follow them into the woods. Aphmau's like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, what are you even talking about? And then Lucinda uses her magic on Aphmau making Aphmau go with them, leaving Aaron behind. Lucinda blasts Aaron through the door, which I think is so funny because right as Garth was coming out, and so Garth's freaking out oh my god, what's going on? Lucinda then goes on to be like, Aaron, do you know the origins of werewolves? And he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Lucinda tells the origins of werewolves, telling the story of the first pack of wolves, and then the Ultima. And then this freaking epic ass music plays.
They call his bloodline the Ultima.
Let's go, Aphmau.
Yes.
They disappear, and Aaron runs to go get them. He doesn't know where he's going, though. But how he finds them is he follows the sound of Aphmau's heartbeat. Aaron and Garth run into the wolf girl in the woods. She warns them to go back and leave. She says that their alpha will kill them because the alpha hates Aaron for some reason. But she also tells them about how the shadowy figure took over her pack, how he removed the emeralds from the cave and met a snake-eyed man in the lodge. He will be important later. We're gonna go back to him later, but keep in mind, the snake-eyed man. He's going to be very, very important later on. So the shadowy figure and the snake-eyed man were working together to create these forever potions with the emeralds in the caves. And they actually ended up using one of the potions on the wolf girl, making her human forever. So she's actually a wolf, but we find out that she's been turned into a human forever, which is awful. But after all the emeralds were gathered from the cave, the snake-eye man left the shadowy figure on his own. The figure cannot make the potions on his own. So they run, they go off, they're like, we're gonna go find them. Aaron finally finds Aphmau standing on the edge of a cliff. Garth hears Zane yelling for him, so he runs off to find him. Why are they separating? I don't know. So Aphmau turns to him and her eyes are green. Her eyes are green. She's gone. R.I.P. She says she wants to introduce him to someone, her fiance. Aaron, of course, valid crashes out. So Garth is following Zane into the woods. Zane punches him, knocking him out and putting him in a cage somewhere so he can't help Aaron. Aphmau takes Aaron to a lodge. There, she claims the shadowy figure is her fiance. On the wall, there are some weird ass photos of her from high school, having wolf tail and ears drawn on them. They're very much stalker vibes. It's so weird. Aaron starts crashing out again. Finally, the shadowy figure reveals himself, and surprise, surprise, it's freaking Ian. Are we surprised? No. However, this is very much peaked in high school bitch-ass Ian getting revenge for something that happened in high school. Ian and Aaron have a standoff. He says that Aaron took everything away from him in high school. If we do remember in Phoenix Drop High, he was the reason that Ian lost the alpha position, which he didn't deserve that. But I think it's so funny that Aaron's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
And that mongrel Blaze.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Very much given Ian has been stuck on this grudge for years and Aaron's forgotten about it. Aaron's got so much other shit going on. He's like, I don't remember this guy's name. Ian says that he knows that Aaron is the Ultima. Aaron says he is not, but we all know Aaron is the Ultima. Finally, Michi, Lucinda, Zane, and Aphmau come out. Aphmau has had an outfit change, and now she's in a villain outfit. Ian demands that Aaron makes Aphmau a werewolf. He denies it, saying he never will. He says if he won't turn her, then he will do worse. So Ian uses 2 potions on Aphmau. The first one is to make her love Ian forever. The second one is making her hate Aaron forever. What? It's crazy. So Ian gives her a knife and tells her to kill Aaron. Things are escalating really, really fast. Aaron turns and runs out into the snow. She chases after him. Garth uses his superhuman strength to break the metal bars, and he gets out and tries to find Aaron. Garth coming in clutch with his superhuman strength. We love to see it. So Aphmau chases Aaron up a cliff with her knife. They have a really sad and dramatic standoff. She stabs him and he falls off the cliff, possibly, we believe, down to his death. R.I.P. Aaron. I hate that you must die in every series. So, believe it or not, I actually don't know if he was technically dead, but he does wake up in a heaven state with Irene. She tells him that she will help him stay alive but he must not give up and he must save everyone. Basically giving him a second chance. And he's like, I will do it. So he wakes up, somehow, not dead. He wakes up at the bottom of this cliff, broken, beat up, bruised, knife in his chest, but he gets up like an icon, puts a red bandana around his eyes because they're red because he's Ultima mad right now. He makes his way back to the lodge. He finds a really worried Garth because Garth thought he was dead this whole time. But he comes back and he's like, Garth, we gotta find them.
Aaron! I'm alive.
So with the help of Kim and Ghost, they all are able to stop and unpotion Lucinda. After she is freed, it is revealed that when they were under the potion's effects, they are aware of what's going on, meaning everyone now knows that Aaron is the Ultima. Ian, with Aphmau, goes to find Aaron's body at the bottom of the cliff, thinking, like he's dead, he fell off the cliff. But when he hears Aaron calling for him, he is shocked to see him. Ian hits Aphmau because she failed. So Aaron is also slowly bleeding out because he's not fully healed yet from the fall off the freaking cliff. He's only running on adrenaline and anger right now. So he's like, I'm going after them. And then Lucinda's like, wait, hold on. I have the anti-potions for you for them. But they have 3 potions, but only 2 emeralds. 1 potion is to help Zane, and then the other 2 potions are one for Aphmau to make her not hate Aaron anymore, and one to not make her love Ian anymore. But they only have 2, like I said, so they're trying to decide which ones are more important. They end up choosing to complete the potion for Zane, and they end up choosing the other one to make Aphmau not love Ian forever, so at least she can choose who she wants to love in the future. Y'all, it's so sad. It's so sad. It is. If you have time, go back and watch that clip, because I was in tears. So Garth and Kim go after Zane, getting him unpotioned. The wolf protects Aaron and Lucinda, trying to get the wolves to not attack them. They're able to, and then Aaron goes ahead and goes after Aphmau and Ian. Ian gets Aphmau to attack Aaron again, but this time he sees that Ian has hit her, and Aaron loses his shit, valid crash out number 3, and Ian runs away. Ian and Aaron have a very epic fight, fully animated. Go watch it if you haven't in years, because it is still bomb. Aaron goes full on wolf during the fight. Aaron uses his Ultima powers to remove Ian's ears and tail, making him human. So he doesn't kill him, but he takes away the most important thing to him. So hot! Aaron leaves Ian behind in the woods, not killing him, just super injured and not a wolf anymore. And then Wolf Girl comes up with her pack, and all the wolves attack Ian. So R.I.P. Ian. I don't think he's dead, but for right now, R.I.P. You suck ass. Bye-bye. Aaron rejoins the group where they are holding Aphmau back. They try to use an anti-potion on her, but it doesn't work. Aaron goes and talks to her. They have a heart-to-heart where she is able to remember on her own the memories that her and Aaron shared, breaking the potion on her own, which is crazy. Their love is so strong that it broke a forever potion. However, as soon as she comes back to normal and she's like, Aaron, I'm so sorry, he collapses. 1 week later, yeah, we're skipping back. 1 week later, the cabin has been turned into a resort. Many people are visiting now. There are rumors that an Ultima sighting took place at that cabin or just around the area. And so the Lycan family, Aaron's parents, are trying really hard to die those rumors down and to keep Aaron safe. Gareth and Zane have a heart-to-heart as brothers. The ghost actually ends up staying with Kim. She's a part of her now. So I guess that's pretty cool. To thank everyone for their help, the Wolf Girl actually offers Lucinda the book that the Snake-Eyed Man and Ian were using to make the potions, and she takes it. So Aphmau is told that Aaron will be getting treatment for his wounds and will be in hiding for a while because they want the Ultima rumors and the sightings to die down. Aphmau says she will wait on him. As everyone prepares to leave without Aaron, Aphmau asks Lucinda if she can teach her some stuff about potions when they get home, specifically healing magic. The season ends with them heading back to MyStreet without Aaron, agreeing to not tell the others everything about what happened, what Aaron is, and Aphmau is still waiting on Aaron to get better so she can see him again. And that's the end. That's the freaking end. Season 4, an emotional roller coaster. It starts out like super slow, and then once it starts, it does not stop. And I was on a roller coaster of emotions the whole time. This might be the longest video I have ever edited and posted in full on my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't. Watch the other recaps. They also take super long to do, so I appreciate all the love and support from these. And next time we will be covering all of Aphmau's year, which is the follow-up of this craziness, and we will also be looking into all of season 5, which I believe is Starlight Wonderland. Season 4 is really depressing. We all knew that, but damn, to relive it years later, that hurt. I think when we recapped Minor Demons, I said that was the freakiest series that we're gonna cover. No, this one gets, I fear this one gets even freakier in its own way. I fear this one takes the cake. You can't beat it, because my god, this one was rough. Hello and welcome back to recapping all of Aphmau's MyStreet series before season 7 drops, and I think it's gonna drop sometime at the beginning of next year. I honestly can't remember at this point. Today we're doing a very quick recap of Aphmau's year, which is the mini-series that takes place between season 4 and season 5, and then we're also going to recap season 5 today. If I sound stuffy and clogged up in this video, I apologize. I am starting to get sick. I am sick. I feel like I have been sick in almost every single one of these recap videos, and I don't know what that says. All right, let's get started. Do you remember last time we were at the lodge in Emerald Secret and how Aaron almost died, like twice? Everyone at that lodge, including Aphmau, knows that he is the Ultima and he's a werewolf, and the Lycan family has decided to take Aaron and kind of hide him away for a year to protect him, protect the family, and also make sure he recovers well, because again, the man almost died. But that also meant that Aphmau and Aaron couldn't see each other for an entire year. So quick recap of Aphmau's year, because it is like a 5-episode series that takes place over 12 months of her life. So at the beginning, Aphmau is a wreck. She's currently staying at her childhood home with her mom, and everyone else has been watching over her and taking care of her. One day, Kawaii-chan, aka KC, and Zane are like cooking for her, and Kawaii-chan is like, something is wrong with Aphmau, like something else happened in that lodge that y'all are not telling me. And Zane tries to lie because they were trying to keep it low-key what happened to Aaron and not say that he's the Ultima to everybody, but he gives in and he tells Kawaii-chan like, hey, this is what happened, but you gotta keep it like low-key. And she's like, okay. So Kawaii-chan now knows about Aaron as well. Also during this time, Aphmau asks Lucinda to teach her magic, specifically healing magic, and they mentioned that it has a strong connection with emotions and how you feel about that person and how well it can help and heal someone. And we know why she's learning this, because she wants to be able to heal Aaron and heal his wounds. Like we don't have enough issues going on, Travis is starting to act strange. Like he's getting weird, and Lucinda notices, and then she notices that he's eyeing up one of her magic spell books one day, and she's like, that's a little strange. And she just puts it in her back pocket. She's like, we'll look on this later.
We all have to start somewhere.
Where did you get that book?
Travis?
Tell me.
I got it from the library. Nothing special.
Lying doesn't look good on you.
Either way, it looks really cool.
Sadly, this will be very important later on. They're just foreshadowing the future of Travis. R.I.P. So like I said before, Aphmau and Aaron have been sending letters back and forth, and their main connection is Melissa, Aaron's older sister. And so Melissa comes to visit Aphmau one day, giving her an update on Aaron's recovery. Aaron has given her a letter with a little bottle of poopsie. It was really sweet. And Aphmau sends back a voice recording of her talking to send back to him so he can hear her talking.
I don't even know if you'll read this.
I'm sorry I never told you what I was.
Aphmau. I'm sorry for what I'm about to do to you.
Remember when I said Travis was eyeing up Lucinda's book like 2 seconds ago? Yeah, that book is now missing, and Lucinda calls Kim being like, my magic book is missing, this is suspicious, and she's like, I think it was Travis, but I'm gonna put it in my back pocket for now. A part of me is like, why don't we just go ahead and mention it to the group? Hey, Travis is acting sus because of what happened to us at the lodge. I think we should be open to the idea that weird things can now happen to anyone at any time. Maybe I'm just paranoid. I don't know. Aaron's birthday passes, which is actually December 17th. Either this video will go up on that day or it'll go up a few days later, but happy birthday, Aaron. Wish you were with us. Near the end of the mini-series, Melissa actually comes and visits Aphmau and tells her about Starlight and how she wants to fly her and all of her friends out to meet Aaron again on Starlight because that's where he wants to meet Aphmau. Because remember, Starlight Wonderland was the place they were originally planning to go before Emerald Secret happened. That's why Aaron was out at the lodge, because he was trying to make money to save up to get a ticket to buy that for Aphmau. So that's basically where it ends, and it kind of sets up Aaron and Aphmau's reunion happening at Starlight, and Melissa is gonna fly them all on their private jet and then get them over there. And that brings us into season 5. But a pretty big part in the miniseries is showing Aphmau's progression with healing magic, and by the end, she's actually pretty good. Okay, season 5 was a doozy because it is so, like, you know how like last season we got so into like the drama and the action of everything going on. They kind of take a pause and they go, you know what, these characters need healing, so we're just gonna put them on another like paradise island like we did in Love Paradise, and we're gonna just play around with their relationships. And that's basically what season 5 is. So it starts off where Aphmau and Melissa are on the private jet and they're getting really excited because they're like, oh my god, we're almost at Starlight. But then Aphmau gets nervous because she's like, oh my god, what if Aaron doesn't like find me hot anymore? And I'm like, girl, this man died for you like 2 times and went through this whole thing. I'm sure he thinks you're the shit. I don't think you need to worry about that. Y'all are trauma bonded to the T. Trust, I wouldn't worry about it. So she gets off the plane and she thinks she sees Aaron, but it's his dad. And there's this embarrassing moment.
Oh, I missed you so much. I'm sorry. I just want to hold you right now. Huh? You're not as firm as I remember.
It was one of those things where like I had to pause. I was like, I can't do this today. So she meets Aaron's dad again and she notices that he has his ears and tail out, and she's like, oh, what's that about? I thought you guys were hiding it. We find out that actually on Starlight, the Lycan family are under a different fake name. So A, they're protected, and B, no one knows who they are. And on mainland, like, people don't know that the Lycans are werewolves. So they're like, oh, we're just protecting our privacy and protecting Aaron because, you know, he's like the Ultima and stuff.
I just fixed up the rest of the bedroom. This will be the perfect place for them to make pups. Oh, she's here.
Rachel?
Mom! But they basically flew out everyone. All the friends, all the parents. I think Aaron's family mostly just flew out everyone that was mostly involved with like the lodge and their immediate family. But Travis and Caitlin are there, and also KC, because Zane snuck her in a large ass suitcase, somehow getting into the, I don't know how that thing went through security. Finally, Aphmau and Aaron, they reunite. He finds her on the beach by finding her heartbeat and listening to it and following it. So stinking cute. He does this again another time in Emerald Secret.
Can call out my name.
Yeah, so they meet and they see each other again, and they're both really nervous because she's like, oh my god, what if he doesn't think I'm hot anymore? And he's really nervous because she's like, oh my god, what if she thinks that I'm ugly and she doesn't like my wolf ears and tail? No, Aphmau's really into the werewolf thing.
Is there a certain way werewolves kiss?
What?
Oh my goodness. It's like she's so into it. We're gonna get into it later. Anyways, Garth is realizing that Zane is acting weird,
And so Zane just kind of assumed Garth would be too dumb to notice that he brought Casey on. And I fear he was right. So for a while, like, Casey is straight up hiding. Like, she can't leave the room. And so Zane will just bring her food. At the end of the day, they find out. They're like, Casey, what the hell are you doing here? And she's like, oops. But everyone's chill about it. So Casey's just also on the island. So throughout the season, they're mostly just going around, enjoying Starlight, enjoying the different parks, and getting to know and bonding with each other more, kind of sharing their trauma. We also find out that Aaron has been planning on proposing to Aphmau in Starlight. So Man has been carrying around a ring and is like hiding it in their room. He's ready. He's like, I've been away for you for a year. We're making this thing happen today. So he's planning on proposing. While Aphmau, first off, she shows him her healing magic powers at one point, and she heals his scars that she made on his chest during Emerald Secret when she was under the potion. Crazy boots. She did that. And then later on, she asked Aaron, like, hey, so I know that an Ultima bite can change someone to become a werewolf. And she basically pulls a Bella Swan, except with Jacob, and goes, can you turn me into a werewolf? And he's like, girl, what? Aphmau does mention that, like, the werewolf thing isn't just to, like, be closer to Aaron or, like, get the bite or get the, like, perks of being a werewolf or anything. She mentions that the idea of it has always kind of called to her, especially when she was in werewolf class and being around werewolves most of her life. Like, she's felt like she's had this special connection with them. This is funny she says that because that will be important later, because everything is in this freaking series. At first, Aaron's like, hell no, I'm not turning you into a fucking werewolf. He's thinking about it and he's like, you know what? Give me a few days or like a few weeks and we'll talk about it more later. And she's like, okay. So that is now up in the air. Michael, Travis's dad, also shows up on the island and is like, hey guys, how are you doing? Having a good time like father and son do.
Real quick, so sorry, I'm editing outside, but I call Terry Michael way too many times in this by accident. He is not Michael, he is Terry, at least right now. And then 2, it's good to remember that Terry brought Caitlin and Travis on his own to Starlight. So he brought them separately from everyone else. Anyway, keep that in mind. Let's continue.
So Aaron thinks he sees Ian at one point, like multiple times, and he starts to like panic, almost have like a PTSD moment, and his eyes will go red. And he'll be like, you know, in that Ultima stance where he's very dangerous and only sees red. But then Aphmau will be like, this isn't you. Babe, look at me. This isn't you. And then he calmed down. And then they're chill. Going back to Zane and Casey, they get together.
Zane, did you want me to ship you with someone?
Huh? Where is that coming from?
It's just, if I had the chance to ship you with someone, I'd like to ship you with me.
They're canon. Zane-chan becomes canon in this season because they're bonding and they get to like relate to each other. And then finally in a haunted house, they share a kiss. They have been my ship since like MyStreet season 1. I just didn't talk about it, I'm sorry, but they were my ship. So when this happened, I lost my mind when I was like 13. But yes, they get together, they're going out on dates. Zane's obviously like freaking out and calls Aphmau about it, but they go out on a date and it's just so cute and they're having such a good time and I'm just so proud of Zane. Oh my god. And then on their date, Casey says or tells Zane her real name, which is Nana. It is not Casey, it's not Kawaii-chan. Her real name is Nana. I love them. They might be my favorite ship, but I adore them. I can't. Going back to Aphmau and Aaron, sorry we're switching around timelines a lot. There's a lot of storylines happening at once. Remember when she asked him like 2 seconds ago, like, hey, can you turn me into a werewolf? Well, he's doing it and he bites her. And she's turning into a werewolf. Isn't that crazy? Now, I don't know how I feel about the Aphmau werewolf thing. I understand why it was necessary, but I think just a part of me really wanted her. It's like that part of me that, like, in all shows, like the Vampire Diaries and Twilight, how the main girl stays like a human for a bit, but then she eventually turns into the monster. I think there's just always a part of me that's like, I wish she stayed human, because I feel like it's such a powerful thing to stay human through all of this and fight like a human and be strong like a human. And I get why it was important, but also a part of me was like, everyone else around you was magical. Why can't you be like the human? I don't know. Whatever. What's done is done. She is transforming, but she's in a lot of pain because her like ears and tail, like her whole body is transforming. So she's in like a ton of pain. So Aaron basically hides her for like a week or two as that's growing, and everybody's like, what the hell is going on? And he's like, oh, she's sick. Oh, but little do they know, she finally gets her ears and tail in. They finally pop through, and when they do, Aaron proposes to her.
Will you marry me?
And of course she says yes, and it's beautiful, and it's been a long time coming, and it's so exciting. So they're werewolves, they're engaged, they're having a good time. Back to Casey and Zane. Casey, oh my god, she accidentally kisses Gareth thinking it's Zane. Zane sees, and they make up, but oh my god, was it crazy. And it was, in my opinion, the most random like thing that could have come between them. I was like, out of all things, we had to have her kiss Gareth. So yeah, all the couples are doing well. They're having a good time on Starlight. It's gonna come to an end in a second because Aaron's dad gets a phone call. The person on the phone lets him know that the news about the Ultima has reached the papers back home, saying that the Lycan family is the successors to the Ultima bloodline. So people know, like, hey, one of y'all has the Ultima gene. So the Ultima is somewhere on Starlight. And he's like, oh shit. So Derek tells Melissa about the business of forever potions. Basically, he tells Melissa like, hey, I made these potions when I was younger with Garte, Garth's dad, and 3 other people named Michael, Zach, and Elizabeth. They sold it to like, they were gonna make these potions to protect the world and all this shit, but you know, it ended up turning into blood money, and that's how they got their success. But they ended up being like, we cannot do this. So they trapped Michael, Elizabeth, and Zach in like a portal thing, said no, burned everything, burned how to make forever potions, and tossed it away. Now, and Melissa's like, why are you telling me this? And he's like, those people that we shunned away are back on the island, and they're hunting us down. So if something happens to me or your mother, this is that you need to know this so you can protect everyone and Aaron. And she's like, what? So thrown this crazy dad lore on her. We find out that they even tested these potions on their children. Derek says that, like, first off, Garte, like, he definitely tested a potion out on Gareth. Caitlin, Elizabeth's daughter, you know, that's Caitlin's mom, tested out on Caitlin. Now, he's not sure. Zach, that's Aphmau's dad. He's not sure if Aphmau ever got like a potion on her or not. He's not sure. But he remembers vaguely that he also had a son that wasn't related to Aphmau. Is that Ian? I don't know. But Aaron, I don't think he was ever tested on for forever potions because he was the Ultima. This is gonna be important later. Things are brewing, but keep that in mind. Back on the main island, everyone is getting together and enjoying the day. But that's when Aaron sees Ian on the island. Like, he didn't like rub his eyes or nothing. No, he saw this man. His eyes go red with anger, his Ultima eyes. And Gareth puts his hand on his shoulder like, hey man, are you okay? And then Aaron turns around, looks him dead in his face, and then Gareth is suddenly in pain. It should have killed Gareth because, okay, let me explain. So the lore is like, if you get bit by an Ultima, you turn into a werewolf. But if you look deadly into their eyes, like straight into their eyes, you die instantly. However, because Gareth was confirmed that he had those forever potions on him, like used as a kid, I think his body is able to fight that off because it's got some type of like magical thing in it. Not sure exactly how it works. I cannot tell you. He does not die. He's just in a lot of pain. So Garth is now possibly also turning into a werewolf. Derek and a few others find out about Aaron turned Aphmau, which sets a lot of people off, and a lot of people are mad, being like, why the hell would you do that? Like, that was a dumb decision. Like, you're the Ultima, you can't be doing that shit. A part of me was kind of like, I kind of agree. So it is confirmed that on Starlight, Zach, Elizabeth, and Ian are all on the island. The season ends with Starlight being shut down because they are hunting down the Lycan family for the Ultima werewolf. Dude, it started off like super, soft, fun, beautiful, reuniting and like building up. But once those last 3 episodes hit, it was lore drop after lore drop after lore drop. And it's that lore your parents give you that you just cannot believe. That's what they were dropping. It was crazy. But that was season 5 in Aphmau's year. I remember watching season 5 come out and watching it. It came out a lot really fast, and it was a good time because it was a good breather and a good break from what we just witnessed in Emerald Secret. But then things just got crazy really fast, and I was like, oh my god, they're gonna kill everybody off. The season was freaky. 1 out of 10 on the freaky scale. I give it a 9, I fear. Season 6, they don't got time for it, so I guess that's fair. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Ladies and gentlemen and my non-binary friends, we've done it. Rounds of applause. We have made it. This project has been about 2 years in the making, and I'm pretty sure that the season is not coming out in 2025 anymore. But hello and welcome back to the final part of recapping all of Aphmau's MyStreet before season 7 drops. Maybe in 2026, 2027, we don't even know anymore. But watch me post this final part, and then she drops season 7 next week, and then I have to recap that. I'm gonna be pissed. Last time we recapped all of Aphmau's year and all of season 5, and now we're recapping all of season 6. And season 6 took me forever to get through because it is genuinely a movie. It's been a while since the last recap came out. So we're gonna do a really quick recap. This is what's going on. So the jump from season 5 to season 6 is so in your face. It's like Whiplash, truly, because it quickly turns into a Mission Impossible movie. So strap in, grab some popcorn, grab a snack, we in it for the long haul. Hold my hand, it's gonna be a long ride. We open on Irene. Yes, that one. That one who's, oh my god, Irene, like the god of this universe. Yeah, we open up on her, who is praying and seems to be in a lot of distress. Then it cuts to Agent R, who's here now on a boat. He is currently fighting for his life, trying to get this briefcase to Derek. He ends up meeting Gareth, who now has werewolf ears and a tail. Apparently, he did not get better, and he completely transformed, but he didn't die, and that's okay. If you forgot last season, Aaron looked him in the eyes, and Aaron can turn people into werewolves, and I guess Garth is just so fucking strong that he was like, he didn't die from it, and he just got turned into a werewolf. They meet up, and they run over to the old villa house, which we learn has been invaded a while ago, and the gang have been running ever since. Garth and Agent R beat up some guys, and then they run away. So a lot has changed over the last few weeks. We cut to Aphmau, who is in the most eye-grabbing hoodie ever, who's supposed to be sneaking around, but whatever. Aphmau is out getting supplies. She's sneaking around to do so because she doesn't want to get caught by the GF forces in this bright-ass purple hoodie. Like, I can't. We find out that apparently the gang has been hiding for months, and they've been slowly moving into the island to get away from the GF forces. Aphmau, because she's not like one of the main people they're looking for yet, gets sent out to go do supply runs, and so they have a whole like system where they'll knock on the door and the other person will sneak them in. They're just trying to stay as low-key as possible and avoid the GFs while also somehow trying to figure out a way to get off the island. Aphmau gets back to the hideout with the supplies, and we see Aaron and his dad, Derek, are fighting about where they should go next. Derek, for some dumbass reason, wants to go more into the island, while Aaron's like, hey, what if we went where they've already like searched and slowly make our way off the island? But his dad's like, no, that's stupid. Why would we do that? So they decide to go with Derek's plan instead, even though Aaron's makes a lot more fucking sense, but whatever. Suddenly, Agent R makes his way to the house and he delivers the briefcase he's been carrying. Derek asks him like, hey, you brought it? And Agent R's like, yeah, I brought it. And Derek's like, okay, I got it. And then they cut away and we don't know what it is. We cut to Michael, who is in Terry's body. This confused me for a bit, but I figured it out as I was rewatching. They're not two separate people, they're the same person. But no, they're two separate people but in their same body. Okay, do you understand that? Because I did. One is possessing the other, okay? That's all you need to know. We see Michael, who has taken over the Guardian forces, and a scientist comes up to him and is like, we found it, sir. And then goes away before we know what it is. I'm sick of saying it. Just tell me what it is. And then Aphmau's dad, Zach, is also there. Michael asks Zach where his boy is, and he says he is at the resort working on the last potion now. Again, cuts away before we can know what's going on. Stop cutting away! Cut to Travis and Caitlin, who are also stuck on the island as well, and they've kind of been apart. They don't really know what's going on. They know that their friends are missing and that they are looking for the lichens, and they're really concerned, but they also just really want to get off the island because they're freaked out. Caitlin complains about being stuck there and how it's unfair, so her and Travis go to confront a Guardian force. Travis gets decked in the head, but wakes up to a darker version of himself, telling him that he's worthless and pathetic. He wakes up in a panic and him and Caitlin leave. So he's fine, I guess. So back at the hideout, Derek is talking to something, some kind of spirit, and claims he was done with something back when they locked Michael away all those years ago. Again, they cut away before we get more context. Who is he talking to? So we can tell tensions are high. Not a great time to, like, do something crazy, like go to a masquerade ball. The next day, Casey sees an ad on the TV for the opening of a casino on the island, so she gets really excited about it and suggests that they should all go to Zane. Zane's like, fuck no, are you crazy? Casey tells the girlies about the idea, and they're like, I don't know, it's not really great timing for us right now to go out in public. However, conveniently, when Lucinda was out on their supply run, she found masquerade masks to wear so none of them would be recognized. Now, I just think this was so stupid. You are being hunted. And you know what else? Nothing happens. They go, they dance a little, and they come home. Nothing good or nothing bad. I guess this is our last moment of silly, goofy, fun times before things get literally the worst they have ever been. This is not the fucking time. While the gang are having one last magical night before literally disaster strikes, back to Derek, he tells Agent R that he's going to turn himself in to the Guardian forces in hopes that it will give his family a chance to survive. Are we all on stupid pills tonight? Agent R is like, don't do that. That's not a good idea. You're a dumbass. You're gonna get yourself killed. But he goes through with it anyway, and he turns himself in. So after turning himself in, he wakes up to two GFs pointing guns at him and being tied up. And he's actually pretty chill about it. He's like, there's nothing. Michael enters, and one of the GFs are like, you can't be in here, sir. But then Michael mind controls him to get him to stay, and the other GF tries to stop it, but then he just gets the other GF to shoot him and then leaves. I'm gonna start a death count. So Michael says that he is not satisfied with just having Derek, but he wants Aaron as well since he has the Ultima powers and the Ultima curse. Derek looks shocked for some reason. I don't know why he didn't think this would happen. And without Derek there to help them, an army of GFs attack the gang's location and try to take them by force. This is literally the most tense scene I have watched in my life, I swear to God. So all the GFs break in and Melissa starts throwing tables and chairs to defend them off. She's such a badass. I love her. Later on, in another room, Aaron and Melissa are holding off the door while their mom and Agent R are like, shit, we gotta get out of here. So Agent R gives Aaron the briefcase with it in it from earlier and tells him he needs to get out of here with this no matter what. Aaron's like, I'm not gonna leave everybody. I'm not leaving without Aphmau. And he's like, we'll get her out. You gotta go, son. He then jumps out the window and starts jumping over the building. He's doing parkour and shit. In another room, Gareth, Kim, and Lucinda end up teleporting out of the hotel to escape, but they are unsure about where they're gonna land. But they decide to take the risk anyway and teleport out of there. Zane and Aphmau find themselves trapped on their balconies, and so this is literally one of the most intense scenes of them because they are dropping 2 stories to get to one balcony to the next. I'm shocked they made it, but they did and they're fine. Rachel uses the door they were hiding in to push through a bunch of GFs with the door and help Aaron and Melissa escape. But as they're running away, they get cornered off by some more guards, and then Casey comes out of nowhere and decks one of them over the head. I'm so glad all of these characters can fight. Thank God they can all throw hands. All three of them are running out, but then Melissa lets Casey and Aaron run ahead of her so she can hold off the rest of the guards, and she shuts the door. She's about to get detained, but then Michael, with his mind control powers, tells a GF to kill her instead. I wish I was kidding. They shoot her, through the wall. Rip Melissa. Oh my god. Aaron and Casey sadly do not have any time to sit there and mourn her. They just make their escape. And it's so sad. At the end of the scene, we see that most of the kids, well, all the kids actually were able to escape, but Rowan, Ziana, Garte, and Rachel have all been detained. So if you can imagine, Aaron is not doing well at all, actually. Casey tries to calm Aaron to try and get him to keep going and running, but she's not the best at it. Aaron punches a wall to try and stay calm, but obviously was kind of hard to do that in the situation. He gets himself together as best as he can, and they try to go hide and find the others. Cut to Lucinda, Kim, and Garth. They teleported out of the hotel, but they landed in the middle of the resort where many people can see that Garth is a werewolf. They run and call for the GF because they are currently hunting every werewolf on the island. They run to hide, but Ghost tries to talk to Kim and tell her what the hell is going on. Kim faints for a minute in a white empty fog, and Ghost tells Kim that someone is trying to talk to them, saying she's here. Irene, the god of their world, by the way, is there, and she's trying to talk to them, which is crazy. She finally comes to, telling Lucinda and Garth that Terry, aka Michael, was the one who was behind everything with the lodge back in season 4, and he is the one who taught Ian how to make forever potions. Apparently, he plans to use them to turn them against each other. Kim is unsure of who told her and Ghost this information. Lucinda and Kim go to hunt down Terry/Michael, while Garth goes back and try to find his family. So, cut to Aphmau and Zane. They were able to escape with the help of a kid and are currently running and hiding. And that's still that bright ass purple hoodie. While running from some GFs, Aphmau and Zane pretend to kiss. Why was that added? IDK. Was this necessary? Probably not, but whatever. They also see that Aaron and Casey were able to escape because their faces are plastered all over wanted screens around the island. Actually, speaking of Casey, we're gonna cut back to Aaron and Casey. They're currently running and hiding around trying to find some type of hiding spot or the others when they think they hear a GF coming. So they sneak and Aaron tackles him, but then he finds out it's just Blaze and Daniel, who I forgot were also here on this island. Blaze and Daniel take them to their cave where they have been apparently hiding out since the GFs have been looking for werewolves around the island. A lot of werewolves are there. It's like a whole society down there. Blaze straight up asks Aaron hey, are you the Ultima? And Aaron straight up lies and says, no, that's crazy. Why would I? Me, the Ultima? That's crazy. Back with Caitlin and Travis, she's still trying to find a way off the island and is stressed out because she doesn't know where her friends are. She leaves, and when she does, evil Travis slaps the shit out of normal Travis and tells him if he lets him, he can help him protect Caitlin and get them all off the island. Travis, the normal one, kind of lets full evil Travis take over his body and runs after Caitlin. So after that, it cuts back to Michael/Terry, who looks horrified. Zach walks in telling Michael that kid is about to reach the camp and is about to use all those potions on them. Zach looks at him and suddenly asks, hey, where's Michael? Terry's kind of like, I don't know. And then we cut away before we can know what the hell's going on. Per usual. So back at the werewolf camp, Casey and Aaron decide that they are gonna head back to the original villa house in hopes that the rest of the gang will meet them there. How would the rest of them know to go there? I don't know. Casey and Aaron leave, and then after that scene, we see this bitch Ian enter the camp acting a fool. He acts like he's looking for comfort from the GFs in the werewolf camp, but he is not. He is here for revenge. He is here for evil. He is here for a bad time. Ian ends up using a bunch of forever potions to take control over the camp and all of the werewolves, including Blaze. Daniel sees this and is like, oh shit, and tries to blend in so Ian doesn't think anything sus. Ian recognizes Daniel and gets him to beat the shit out of Blaze for fun. So back with Aphmau and Zane, they are still running and they run into Dottie. Like, hey queen, forgot she was here too. She's acting a little suspicious. She tells Aphmau that Aaron is at their camp and is badly injured, which is not true. Aphmau decides to go with Dottie and Zane is gonna head back to the resort to look for Gareth and Casey. Cut to Travis and Caitlin again, who are still trying to make their way off the island, and Travis this time is acting really weird as well. He's been acting weird like the past 2 seasons, but he's acting like extremely weird now. He has a moment to talk with his evil Travis inside him, and evil Travis tells him he can help save him and Caitlin. I guess the actual real Travis lets the evil Travis fully take over this time, because the next time we see him, his eyes are no longer their usual color and he's acting all cryptid and all weird, and we're like, oh no, something's wrong. Aphmau and Dottie are heading back into the cave when they bump into Daniel, who insists that he can take it from here and guide Aphmau to the camp. After Dottie leaves, Daniel's like, she's lying!
He's lying! He's lying! He's lying!
She's lying! Aaron isn't here! She's lying! Ian, we need your help! He's here! Begs, like he lets her know what the hell's going on first off, and then he begs her for them to book it and go get help. But then she literally says no and decides she wants to go face Ian herself. Fully, I get why she feels like she has to do this, but girl, we are in a high-risk situation. Pick your fucking battles. I get you're a werewolf now, but that don't make you immortal, queen. So they make their way to the camp, where Ian is beating the crap out of the captain of the GF. Daniel tries to distract Ian before he can get to Aphmau, but Ian tosses him around like a rag doll and goes after Aphmau. Her and Ian have a face-off, but then Blaze, who is under Ian's control, hits her with a forever potion. And then, like in season 4, she runs into Ian's arms and acts like she's so in love with him. Plot twist, she's faking it. I don't know why the forever potion just didn't work on her this time. Maybe she's like just super strong now, like or maybe they just made the potion strong. While she's hugging him, she stabs him. Ian rips the knife out of his chest like the ultimate villain, and he pushes Aphmau away from him. He says they need to wait for the right audience before they have their showdown. Cut to Casey and Aaron, who are still at the beach house waiting for someone to show up. They end up turning on the TV and they see one of the news that Aaron's mom, Rachel, has been captured and killed. So Aaron is not doing well at all. So cut to Gareth, who's kind of walking around outside all willy-nilly like he isn't on the run and talking to himself out loud, but he ends up running into Zane and they go and hide out in a house. They run into Travis and Caitlin, who are also hiding out in that same house as well. As soon as they see Gareth though, they're kind of like, oh shit, you're a werewolf? And remember, they don't even know Aaron is the Ultima. Low-key, I don't know how much they actually know fully, like what's going on, Caitlin and Travis. Cut to Lucinda and Kim, who a while ago escaped to go try to find Terry. They ended up stealing some GF uniforms and finally find Terry, where they're able to trap Michael. Lucinda says that she knows that that body is not Michael's, and they are able to remove Michael from Terry's body. But instead of looking relieved, Terry is extremely upset and is asking her like, oh my god, what have you done? And Lucinda's like, what? Like, what did I do? Oh my god. Cut to Travis, who, because Michael left Terry's body, Michael immediately possessed Travis's body and now has gone full evil and has fully taken control over Gareth and Caitlin with the snap of his fingers. And then Travis, who's now fully evil, Travis tells Gareth to basically go kill Zane. Cut to Daniel, who finally finds Aaron and Casey and tells him that Ian has Aphmau, and Aaron runs to go save her. Zane ends up running in there as well and finds Casey, and Casey sees that Gareth is chasing him, and she doesn't really know what's fully going on, but she tries to break up the fight and shield Zane away from Gareth and tries to like kind of talk him out of it, of like whatever's possessing him.
I know you can hear me. Your time is up.
It does not work, and he slices her open. She's fine, but oof, damn. Aaron gets to the camp and tries to save Aphmau, but when she goes to run to him to make a break for it for some fucking reason, Ian uses some type of green magical ability that I didn't even know he has, stabs her in her heart in front of, it's really dramatic. It's a really dramatic scene. Aaron carries her back to the house where Zane is also trying to care for Casey's wounds. It's a really sad and depressing moment between Aaron and Aphmau. Aphmau keeps saying like she doesn't want to die and she's sorry and it's really sad.
Aaron, please.
And then Aphmau dies. She dies. So Aaron, blinded by sadness and anger, goes full Ultima mode and takes the werewolf sword that Terry left them in the living room. And he's about to go on a killing spree. He's pissed. He takes the sword and goes out to look for Ian and avenge his girl and his family. But then he runs into Blaze, who is still mind controlled. Aaron is freaking over it at this point, so he like straight up uses the sword on Blaze and a bunch of other werewolves as well, and basically goes on a huge killing spree, including killing Blaze. He kills Blaze. So angry that was his end. It makes me so angry. And then Aaron transforms into an actual huge ass werewolf and tears open Ian. Thank God though, I'm sick of his ass. Michael orders the GF to not shoot Aaron, but instead just take him into custody because he needs him for something. I don't know. Caitlin and Garth also get sent down to fight Aaron, and they're actually able to catch him and like get him to calm down, but they get a pretty whoop ass beating as well. After Aaron is down, Michael orders them to take Aaron to the kennel, okay, and we see a few of the bodies that were left are shining a bright light and then they disappear. We assume this is Irene trying to help save these people. And Michael starts talking to Irene again, saying like,
"Is that all you have power left to do? Can't even save just one of your toys."
He's pissed at her. He cannot stand her ass. Anyway, next episode, we see this huge ass machine, or secret lair as I'm gonna call it, coming out from the middle of the island from the ocean and is slowly starting to peek out. Then Zach comes in. He's all pissed off and yells at Michael for having Aphmau killed. Michael's like, "Why are you so upset? Like, you didn't act this way when Ian died." Ooh! And Zach claims that that's different. Ooh! And then Michael says,
"What allows you to value the life of one of your children over the other?"
What? Basically, apparently it's hinted that Ian is Zach's son that he had with another lady, so that would make him and Aphmau half siblings logically. Oh my god. I know this has been talked about so many times and has been, I think, rewritten as like a red herring and not what it meant. It was just a bad story choice because it was weird, and because it looks weird because season 4 happened and Phoenix Drop High happened. My theory is that this wasn't fully thought through, because why is this in the show? I don't know. This doesn't serve like any plot point at all. I'm literally gonna take this fact that they just dropped and throw it away. Anyway, going past that weird ass fact we just learned, later Aaron, Derek, and Agent R are all moved to this huge ass room in the machine where they put Aaron in this thing, I don't know, some type of big ass machine with a cannon. Michael says that this machine can destroy anything and is powered by the souls of a whole civilization. Bro, what is even going on anymore? He also says this machine can create relics like the ones in Minecraft Diaries. Quick lesson in relics. So to create a relic which gives the holder some type of power, it requires a sacrifice. So for example, Irene got her relic from sacrificing her own daughter. Now we don't got time to get into all that. Michael plans to sacrifice Aaron to get a new relic with the mix of like his anger and his Ultima powers. It's supposed to give him like all this power, whatever. Then once he has that, he's going to use it to break into Irene's dimension and kill her and end the cycle of rebirth. Then Michael pushes the big scary red button and shoots a blast from a cannon that's going straight towards Aaron, who has basically given up. He's kind of like over it. He's like, you know what, fuck it. However, before it can hit him, we see Irene from her dimension is using a protective shield to block it and save him, and she's begging Aaron to get up and fight. Derek takes this opportunity to run in and push Aaron out of the way, getting him to get shot instead and turn into a relic. Rip Derek. So apparently when Irene saved Aaron, that was like the last of her power, so she ended up dying. I think she's called to face judgment in the afterlife and enters this house where she meets Aphmau. Our Aphmau basically gets to choose to either let her live or herself live again. Oh, and Blaze is there too. It's so sweet, but then Aphmau starts yelling at everybody because she's pissed off that like, everyone thinks I can't protect myself and then Irene's like, girl, shut up and go fight. There's actually some really sweet moment. At the end, Irene decides to help Aphmau come back to life and give her a second chance to live and help everyone. We cut to real life and we see Aphmau is coming back to life with Lucinda doing a spell on her to help heal her wounds because remember, she still has a giant hole in her chest, which they're able to patch up, but she still got shot in her chest. She's not fully healed, but she's still alive, and Zane, Lucinda, Casey, and Kim are all there to celebrate reuniting and her being okay. Sadly, all good things must come to an end because we see Terry, who is also there. Terry finally explains what the fuck is going on, and he says that he is a descendant of the demon warlock. He says it was sealed away years ago as Michael, but has broken out and wants to take over the world. However, he's too weak to do it on his own, so that's why he needs a relic and wants to kill Irene to get hers as well. Terry then pulls out the briefcase with it in it. Remember it from all the way back at this like 20 minutes ago? He says it's a realm breaker that can break realms, but also seal away powerful beings like the demon warlock. That's what they're gonna do. So they suit up and they head out to go find Michael and take him down. While they're all getting ready, Zane brings up how Kaylin and Gareth were mind controlled with the snap of Michael's fingers without any forever potions in sight. And Terry explains that, well, you guys were kind of part of a kid experimentation thing, and we gave you guys forever potions, and that explains why Gareth and Kaylin are super strong naturally because of these forever potions. Remember from FCU when Gareth punched that guy into a tree?
Umar just gonna have to understand, man. I've been across dimensions to swim in some milk, so just imagine what I would do for a Latina.
They decide that the only way to free them too is to kill the demon warlock, not just seal him away. They steal a boat from some GFs and make it to the secret lair machine just as it lifts into the sky. This thing shoots up and literally goes into the sky. They fight Caitlin and Lucinda is able to trap her for now. They break in and Ghost, who we find out is actually Emmeline from Minecraft Diaries, and she ends up leading them to where they need to go. Cut to the GF captain, who has beaten a bunch of them up and is trying to figure out what the hell is going on. He's still kind of like completely out of the loop. He's just a dude hired to do a job and fighting what he believes in, still trying to take down the Ultima, and somehow is still alive. He runs into Agent R and they end up having a heart-to-heart about each side they are on. Agent R explains to him the truth and what the fuck is actually going on, and they decide to team up. Cut to Michael, who absorbs the relic he got from Derek and is about to turn on the cannon when Travis starts choking him in his mind palace. However, it doesn't actually do much, and he just kind of throws Travis across the room. He tried. Travis really tried. Michael ends up firing the cannon, and all of the souls of the people on Starlight are literally ripped from their bodies. All of these souls together turn Michael into his final form, the demon warlock. The squad finally make it to the room and they think Aaron is the one that got. Aphmau screams in sadness because she's like, oh my god, Aaron's fucking dead. I can't believe this. But Aaron hears this from the Irene dimension and decides to wake up and is like, I gotta go get my girl. Like, I'm here. Zane fights a mind-controlled Gareth. Gareth throws him out a fucking window and it's crazy. And Lucinda fights off a mind-controlled Caitlin. They both are able to talk them out of it and save them. Cutting back to Aphmau and Kim, Ghost says she can feel Aaron trying to come back to their world, but they need to use the realm breaker to get him out of the Irene dimension, which is crazy because I thought they were gonna have to use it to stop Michael, and I thought this would be like a one-time use type of thing, like that's why they couldn't use it for anything else. They use it anyway, and Aphmau's able to pick him up and save him. Aphmau and Aaron start making out, immediately starts making out, and there's a sweet friendship reunion because everyone's been on their own side quest for like this whole season. But then the GF captain comes in with a gun and threatens to shoot Aaron. Everyone stands in front of him to show how they want to protect him and how they care for him. This is giving very Disney Channel, but I don't care. I ate this up and I was crying. He lowers his gun and it's all cool now, I guess. So now that we're all together again, Agent R catches everyone up on what the fuck is going on and how they need Aphmau to be the one to hold a relic relic and fight the demon warlock. No one really wants to fight him since it's still Travis. Ghost buds into the conversation and actually gives us some more information about relics. So, relics lesson part 2. So, when someone is turned into a relic, their essence can be used for good or for evil depending on their relationship with the holder. Also, when someone is turned into a relic, they actually are not completely dead. They can be brought back, but it's complicated and could cause some issues. Someone can also hold multiple relics at once. So, with all this information, now the plan is to turn a few of their friends into relics, and Aphmau is going to use all of them to fight the demon warlock, aka Travis. After a long and very intense conversation that had me kind of crying low-key, Lucinda, Aaron, and Zane end up being the ones to be turned into relics. Caitlin and Gara fight off the demon warlock to start off the fight, but it quickly goes south and they get their ass whooped, and I'm like, damn. However, right as things are starting to look bad, Aphmau shows up looking like the final boss with 3 fireballs and is here to fight the demon warlock. Then the demon warlock says,
"If you want to play God, let me kill you in a place more fit for a goddess to die."
and he transports them to the Irene dimension to fight. Zane, Aaron, and Lucinda help Aphmau fight off the demon warlock from her mind palace. They are able to stab him, which weakens him and gets them back to reality, where Kim/Ghosts do a spell to remove Michael out of Travis's body. The demon warlock then goes back into Terry's body immediately, and then out of nowhere, they shoot Terry, like with the I don't remember when they decided they were gonna kill Terry. After this, everyone seems pretty okay. Heavily injured, but alive. Also, all of the souls that were inside Travis from the island are released and sent back to the people on the island below. So they're all saved as well. Everything is good, right? No, because the entire secret lair in the sky is about to fall to the ground and they need to get out of there now. But Aphmau first has to go back and go under the cannon to get Lucinda, Aaron, and Zane out of her. Some escape while Aphmau and Kim go to the machine. They're able to get them out, but Zane is speaking nonsense and Aaron is completely out of it. Like, he's basically almost dead. Lucinda is okay, but her magic is not there and is not really working at all. Kim is able to do a spell to teleport them out of the machine. It fucks up because she doesn't really know how to do it, and they all end up landing in a bunch of different parts of the island. They're able to get out of there truly at the last second because that machine quickly came flying down and crashes into the ocean at the end. We get to see where Aphmau and Aaron landed, and when Aphmau says she's right here because they both are really injured, like they can't even reach over and touch each other, Aaron asks her who she is, hinting that he has lost all of his memories. And he's blind, and it's just so sad. RIP. Like, this is so depressing. And then we get a time skip of 1 week later. Everyone is kind of a mess, but they're alive. Zane can only refer to people as the amount of letters in their name. So like for KC, he says 4 because her real name is Nana. And Lucinda's magic is still not working. Travis, Aphmau, and Aaron are somewhere else in a hospital recovering because they were the most beat up and damaged from everything. But then guess who shows up after all of that? Melissa! She's alive! Thank God. I don't know how, but I'm also like not surprised that she survived that because she is that bitch. I love her. Melissa goes to see Aaron in the hospital. He's blind, in a wheelchair, and has forgotten all of his memories. So he's not doing so hot. He hasn't really been doing so hot this whole entire time. Like, he doesn't even remember Melissa. It's really sad. Melissa claims that Aphmau can help him remember, but sadly it doesn't work, and he doesn't remember her either. And they leave the island. Finally, they get the fuck off the island. So while on the boat, Aaron says that he's sad that he won't be able to talk to her anymore, and Melissa's like, who? Like, who are you talking about? And he says, Shoo. Shoo! If you don't remember, that's Aphmau's online gaming persona. Melissa says she will see what she can do to try to get them to meet in real life. And then the credits roll. Oh, we do see Aphmau and Travis in a hospital room having a heart-to-heart, and they say,
"It's been a long time. Not alone, buddy."
I'm a wreck. The cherry on top to an emotional heartbreak. And that's it. That's where we have left off for the past, like, I don't know how many years. And I'm waiting for it to continue. Rewatching this entire series has truly put me into such a mindset of who I was at the time when this was coming out. And it's really brought me back to such a simple time in my life where, yeah, middle school sucked, but at least I had Aphmau to watch. And that gave me some hope. But this season, I think, is truly one of my favorite seasons of the entire MyStreet series. This season and season 1. Those are my 2 favorite series. Thank you guys so much for watching and for watching this whole series if you have and keeping up with it. You guys have been so supportive and so kind, and it's just been really fun to do. I hope you stick around for other content coming soon, Aphmau related or not, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!